I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my head. I've been stuck on your memory, but it's not like I need it. And we may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I'm gonna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. 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 I just need to. I just need to clear my head. I just need to. I just need to clear my head. I just need to. I just need to clear my head. I just need to. I just need to clear my head. Can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. Oh, clear my head.
Our delicious new gingerbread and white chocolate Chatime is available in your choice of milky or frozen iced tea, or made hot, so you can enjoy it any way you like. Chatime, shaking tea up.
Hello and welcome to the 2021 Australian Esports University League presented by Chatime Australia. I'm Spudoom, with me is Proto, and we're here to bring you the upper bracket semi-finals for Rainbow Six Siege. Our teams have worked hard to get this far, but hard work isn't going to be enough tonight. They're going to have to beat their opponents in order to get a chance, in order to stay in the upper bracket and not be sent to the lower bracket too early. There's still many teams here, and it's looking like a tough battle. In fact, we have Monash Throwables and Swinburne Swinister playing for their spot tonight.
Yes, and all of this evening is brought to you by our lovely, lovely sponsors, Chatime, for their lovely bubble tea. Make sure you get yours sometime soon in the upcoming future. And our new sponsor, Predator, ladies and gentlemen. Predator puts power and precision in your hands. Elevate your gaming experience in every way with quality and performance. Thank you very much to Predator.
Of course, who can forget our old mates AOC, the best viewing experience. They've got over 50 years of experience providing exceptional viewing experiences to millions of loyal customers. Of course, we also have Indomie, our noodle partner, straight out of Indonesia. They have the best quality flour and fresh spice and have a growing range of over 14 different products. And finally, RIG, our headset partner. They deliver superior audio for gaming, for gamers and streamers at all levels, so make sure to get your headsets. But with that, it is time to take a look at our bans tonight. We've got some interesting maps being played. I am happy to say that we will not be seeing Oregon. I think I'm a little sick of that, to be honest.
Yes, I am very relieved to not be seeing Oregon. It is a map that we see pretty much every week, I would say, in most tournaments. But tonight, Clubhouse, our first map. Second will be Chalet, and then our decider is going to be Villa. Now, two of these maps, not necessarily huge in terms of pick. We don't see a lot of Chalet, and Villa is usually a second or third sort of decider map. I see Villa as a decider a lot, but Clubhouse obviously is going to be pretty much your one of your standard in current meta maps. So I definitely think that these two teams are going to, it is going to be, I think, a 3-map game tonight, because these two teams, I would say, are quite high up there in terms of their level of competition for AEL.
Yeah, I think we were discussing this before the stream, and we definitely see these teams, at least one of them, being a grand finalist. So, they definitely have a lot riding on this as well. The winner, of course, will go on tomorrow, next week, to play against the winner of RMIT Black and Monkey UTS, who are, of course, playing tomorrow night, also on stream. So make sure to tune into that. But for now, we're going to have to get straight into this match and see how this all pans out. We will be going to Clubhouse first while we... Actually, we are waiting for a player just to join in. So, Clubhouse, what are your thoughts? Throwables map pick? What do you think?
Throwables have picked it. I think Throwables are going to have a pretty good chance at taking away and getting a good lead for the first map. There is definitely history with Clubhouse. Bans, I definitely think Flores could be implemented. He has started to see a increasing ban rate across multiple maps. He's become quite pivotal in clearing a lot of these positions out. Obviously, with the new meta, there's a lot more shields. So Flores is quite a viable operator, and I definitely think we could see him banned out on Clubhouse. Thatcher, most likely as well. But in terms of defense, what do you think, Spud? Because obviously we have had a bit of a shift recently. So...
I think these teams are teams which won't be playing this, the standard ranked meta. They're going to be actually playing strategies they've developed and counter-strategy for what they know their opponents will bring. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see the likes of a Wamai ban here. Wamai, of course, really good at denying utility, and he can just make attacking such a pain. Getting rid of him would really make the attackers' lives easier. Of course, Kaid, maybe, even though that is a ranked ban, of course, he does really excel at keeping some of these hatches shut. And, it's always beneficial just to remove that off the board.
Can I also say, new Clubhouse rework means that we have seen some changes to the bar bomb site. It is actually now bar and stage. So has become a little bit more viable for teams to play. So I'd be interested to see if either of these two teams tonight on their representative halves are going to actually attempt a bar stage hold. Because bar stock was horrible, let's face it. But now, with the change, bar stage can actually be held vertically, which adds a lot more viability to the bomb site, because you can now actually defend it with some changed walls and stuff. So I really want to see if that gets implemented tonight. I am very interested to see.
Yeah, it means you can't just walk into stock and plant right at the door. They actually have to take a decent amount of map control in order to get all the way into stage. Of course, with that extra door next to the bar, it means you have an extra option of rotating. You don't have that big double door, which has a lot of long angles that attackers can hold. So, maybe these teams will go for it. But considering that this is, of course, a semi-final and these teams have played Clubhouse for a long time, I wouldn't be surprised if they just kind of resort to their old strategies. I mean, given that the other 3 sites, they're not bad sites at all. And Gym especially, we see some APAC teams actually put it as their secondary, even their primary sites.
Yeah, Master Gym has had a bit of a resurgence from a tertiary to now, as you said, a primary site for a lot of teams. I have noticed that with some of the floor changes, because obviously there was a lot of soft floor inside of Gold Vault, for example, around the back of the desk in logistics. They've had some small changes to the hard destructible flooring inside of the master bedroom as well. So Master has actually become a lot more viable in terms of where you can actually set things up now to deny that downstairs play, which is pretty good. So obviously that is now a new sort of viability for that site, which does, as you said, bring it up to one of those primary/secondary bomb sites as opposed to downstairs or now the middle vault. But we have actually got that player in, and we are going to be starting now, ladies and gentlemen, on the Clubhouse, starting things off, as always, with the bands. Throwables on attack, Swinster on the defense. We've talked about what we think we're going to see. Now, let's see if we actually get it. What are the bans? The Good Luck Have Funs have come out. Thatcher to go first, I would imagine, possibly followed up by a Flores. I could actually see a Valkyrie ban, do you think, maybe on club?
I mean, there's a lot of run-out positions here, so and there's a lot of places you can hide those cameras, so if they just don't want to have to deal with all the constant spawn peeking and run-outs, yeah, maybe. But I would see it more of a Swinister option as opposed to Throwables, if I'm entirely honest.
And very interestingly, Flores is gone. Thatcher as well. He isn't going to be left in at all by Throwables. I don't want to deal with him at all. So we did see both of the attacking bans that were guessed upon by myself to go. Now, defense, is it going to be the Valk? Is it going to be the Wamai that we suspected? It is going to be the Valkyrie. Am I 4 for 4? What's going to be the last? Is it going to be the Cade or the Wamai? Which one do I want to pick? Maybe a Mirror. I'm going to go safe and say Mirror. What do you think, Spud?
I'm thinking it's a Wamai. I think Swinister will do that against Throwables. But, here we go.
See that?
3 seconds.
See it. Yes, 4 for 4. I'll take it. I will take it. It's all because of that new Predator sponsor.
Yeah, right.
I'm sharp tonight. I've got the bands down. Now let's see if we've got the game, ladies and gentlemen. Round 1, Swinster on the defense. Are they going to start upstairs in the master bedroom, or is it going to be downstairs first? It is going to be the basement, Church, Arsenal to start things off. And Mozzie could be paired with the Mute. We know that Throwables like to use their drones. They get their fraggers in and get their picks early on. Owen, obviously, could be running the shotgun tonight on the Habana, something we've seen him do before, and I can guarantee something he would do again. Capcan's interesting from Peepo there. She's going to 6-pick off to a Thunderbird. Very interesting pick.
Yeah, Thunderbird, of course, is now allowed in our playoffs, so we will be seeing her brought to the table. Of course, she's got those healing stations, which make roaming a little bit more easy. You can, top up your health as you fall back. Of course, she's got a great assault rifle as well. And all on a 3-speed, she can really, really be a menace. Of course, I think they attackers have perhaps read into this basement hold. They do have both the Maverick and the Habana here to open up all these hatches. No Kaid here, which means the hatches will be openable quite easily. But apart from that, a solid lineup from both teams involved here.
Interestingly enough as well, we don't actually see any impacts being brought by defense at all. So no impact tricking to come out. Little graphic at the top left of your screen right now. We do see that Throwables are actually on a little bit more of a win streak than Swinster are. A couple more draws on their leaderboard. So maybe this is going to come into tonight. Throwables could walk away with a couple more of those green W's. But honestly, I think Swinster do have the ability to bring it to the game. Obviously, we see Peepo, Marshmallow from AE, Goofed, Pew, Tangy. It is a pretty stacked roster, I will say. So this is definitely going to be a possibility for 3 maps, and I'm definitely chalking it up to be one of those 3-map games. We do have a deep roam here from Marsh and Goof. They are going to be on the top floor holding things down for a small amount of time, and I imagine they are going to look for the rotate early on if they do get into some conflict. But Throwables yet to make their way onto the top floor.
So far, Quite a slow progress. It's a bit too early though. Pika will manage to pick off one from underneath, actually. An interesting position to be playing in, but he will get retraded by Goofed. That's a good coordination there, making sure that man count stays even. Goof now in a little bit of trouble here. He has been spotted out and will try to fall back, but one on his main stairs means he will have to rotate back through red. It looks like he will actually make it out of there alive.
So he's going to be slinking down now towards the top of Secret, and Throwables haven't been able to catch him on his rotation, which means that it is a 4v4. However, Goofed now is going to return back to the Kona stations and heal himself back up to 100 HP, so it's relatively even, a 4v4. Still 2 nitros in play for the defense though, so this top floor still could be pillaged by the explosive power that the defense still holds. Now, we did see that they are still on the top floor, taking their time, actually, droning out that master bedroom side. I think they have designated it is largely clear now. Goofed quite aggressive at the bottom of the main here. Throwables have some control. They've got the hatches open up, and they are, I'd imagine, going to be looking for an execute relatively soon in the 4v4.
Taking their time now, though, making sure that they kind of lock down the locations of these players. Goofed, once again, very aggressive here. Being careful, though, not to peek up too early. Unreinforced hatch. Not sure if that's the best decision here, but a C4, actually, big brain play. He was a bait. That Maverick didn't know what hit him. Goofed also able to find another one now. Brings it back to a 4v2. And Owen with a defuse and jump stream. They're going to have to find something here.
40 seconds left for Throwables to execute. 3 players currently from Swinster on the overheal. We also have the Tachanka in play, so those Schumachers are going to be denying that Moto drop. Now, Jumpstream will do a little bit of damage to the Jaeger. Some pre-fires as well for the swing. Not going to be greeted with any kills just yet. He's not overextending. Owen will drop into blue, though. I don't think he's heard this. No, he hasn't. Owen finds one on the second. Can't find it, though. Peepo takes down Owen for her second in this round. Doesn't get a third, though. Jumpstream shuts her down. Looks for the second, but Pew's there to finish it out for Swinster, and the defenders are going to walk away with round 1.
I think Monash there were a little caught off guard by the aggressiveness of this defense. We had 2 players roaming upstairs, of course, able to get that refrag, but Goofed on those main stairs very, very far up. It's not a place you usually see players, and I think whoever fell for that AHAL, I believe it was, wasn't exactly ready for him. Of course, the Maverick, unfortunate for Sonics, he did fall prey to a C4 set, perfectly placed as a bait. That's the highlight so far.
That is actually a big brain play, leaving the main hatch unreinforced and then waiting for someone to come along and open it up with whatever utility they have, albeit a Maverick, a Buck, a breaching pack, a sledge, anything. You could most likely get a C4 from that, and Swinster definitely did. Peepo ripped the old nitro and sent it up and found herself a frag, which is good because it was a good kill to find, especially it being the Maverick. Sort of shut down a lot of the options that Throwables had in that later part of the round, and ultimately it just made the man count easier at the end of the day. Swinster had a little bit of an easier time. Now, the main wall here is being shotgunned out, for those of you who don't know, to make it a lot harder for Skonic to Maverick trick. Because the holes actually make it a lot harder. Now, I'm not sure if... No, there was no Irradiate, my bad. I thought there was. But the Cade has been bought this round by Swinster. So they want to deny that wall a little bit. Now, interestingly enough, they're not putting it on the garage double walls. There may be one in play over there, but it doesn't look like... yeah, there is going to be one in the rafters. So that is going to be relatively hard for Throwables to clear here. But they do have the utility to do so. So it's going to be interesting to see how they deal with that.
Reaching now once again from this stock side. One player as well too, actually, will be pushing up from the gym side, looking for a full clear of this top floor side. And they might actually rotate over for a late back take as well. AHAL now getting ready to entry, being thrown in by I believe it was Owen. Tanji, however, will be playing in con and looking to contest this early on. Not sure if his position has been given away quite yet.
Here come the shotgun holes. I think he's doing the partial Maverick trick, so he doesn't have to do the whole wall. He can do small amounts in the middle of the wall on the top and the bottom. Now, Pew was there to try and find some early damage onto the Maverick, but he couldn't quite land the shot. Unfortunately, will mean that Maverick still is 100 HP, and there is a grenade, four, I believe, sorry, in the main breach area. So they could definitely just nade the Cade Claw off here, but I don't think they want to use them just yet. They still need to clear rafters out. Now, Tangy has been droned, and Jumpstream is actually going to kick things off with the first frag on the Goof outside the main wall. Now, whether or not that was through a Maverick hole or not, I imagine it is, and the wall has been tricked. Now they're going to open that up, and this is going to provide them with a lot more control now to look to take towards the site.
They've pushed up all the way into Con as well now, forcing all the defenders, back onto this very, very narrow and claustrophobic site. As I speak, Tangy manages to find a wide swing, and it might actually one player down. And one player is outside as well. Owen, however, will not be able to get that, and he will be taken down with the diffuser as well. A double kill for Tangy. Swings the momentum back.
An amazing play inside of Con. I didn't actually realize that Owen was there as well, doing his usual prone things behind the paint stacks there with the Ash, but albeit couldn't quite net himself a frag. Now, Jumpstream does have this main breach control here, so that is going to give Throwables a little bit of control in towards the main site. However, Pika coming now through the master bedroom needs to at least find a couple of frags through Con to equalize things back out. They only have 40 seconds left, will be spotted out on the pre-fire for the first engagement. However, Jaeger's not going to give up that easily, and Pika walks on in. He has backed off a little bit from behind. Tangy is going to get tagged up, and now they only have 30 seconds to try and make it into the site.
Pika now looking for these aggressive plays. He needs to get a pick in order to trade back, but Pew actually gets a Pew onto him, jumps out. Now it's all up to Jumpstream outside the breach, gets one, but he's got to find three, and with this wall still partially electrified and not even fully open, he's in a rock and a hard place right now. Jumps in, gets shot, and shocked as Peepo cleans him up for a second round.
Holy smokes, Peepo, some would say. She's there for the final kill, cleaned it up, the HSP herself, and, well, defense are going to find another round in their favor. Still no bar stage site, which is a little bit upsetting. There is the tertiary pick, gym and bedroom, so I don't think we're going to be seeing the bar site from Swinster, as much as it pains me to say. It's not looking good. But a Frost is being bought in this lineup. Now, Frost has actually become pretty much a must pick for this bomb site. Now, with her recent buff, obviously she's now been given the shotgun. She's got the shield still. And honestly, the C8 is a pretty... Is it the C8 or the C9? I can't remember. But her submachine gun is very good. But it doesn't matter. All the stuff I've just said is irrelevant because we now have Lamai. And I'm going to stop gassing Frost up now because it doesn't matter. Lamai's cool too, I guess. But I'm upset now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not as satisfying. You know, catching a grenade versus catching a player in the footsie mat, it's different. It's different. You know, but we will be heading up to this gym bedroom site. Castle, of course, the other staple pick here, does allow you to block off some of these lines of sights and potentially bandit trick the wall. Speaking of which, there is no bandit. It will be a mute who does the wall keeping. However, we will also see players in CP and cash as well. Those reinforcements going up allow a horizontal hold as the players can't really jump through the bedroom and gym window without being shot from cash here.
Interestingly enough, Throwables aren't implementing the ace. Now, for me, on Clubhouse, when we usually see it played, Ace, Habana, Maverick are the usual triptych of hard breaches that we see. However, Throwables here opting for a more traditional hard breach. They have the Thermite, which Owen is actually going to get out straight away. But that is paired with the Maverick. Now, they do have a lot of soft breach. They do have the Zofia. They do have the Buck, which is interesting picks. However, the Mute Jammers now with the Reset nerf aren't going to stop the Thermite. So I'd imagine that's why they brought him along. And fair enough, he does open up a lot more of the wall. But Marshmallow is actually going to rotate some of his utility, which is going to allow for that main server wall to remain hard as long as Throwables can't get rid of that Mute Jam.
Entering now from the garage as well, looking to apply pressure from both directions onto this CC, this cache area. This will be the first calling place of Monash as they look for this attack. But there are players here. Goof is hiding about on the red stairs. He does have alibi points to work with as well. Catches one, but there's actually 4 players very, very close to him. Hippo not quite in a position to support. He's cut off by that long angle. She will be able to hold the door, but will Gruff be able to hold the breach? He backs out just at the wrong time, and now 4 players in CCTV.
They have forfeited red control, but somehow Goof still manages to find a frag onto Pika. Here comes Jumpstream though, will spot the first. It's going to take down Marshmallow, now has the rotate cut off from the red stairs. Goof is also going to be found on the way out by Owen. He's going to be able to pick up that thermite charge and give it another go. But look at the position from Peepo. She's largely unknown, finds one onto Ahau. Needs to get a second here if she wants to equalize. Will indeed, takes down Owen as well. Jumpstream is going to be the only person now, Skonic is going to be the only person now to try and cut off a rotate paired with Jumpstream on red. However, Peepo still a menace inside of Cash, yet to be fragged out. Only a minute left. However, Jumpstream now takes her out for a 2v2 to close this round now. Throwables need to find these last 2 frags.
Sonics, however, will find one, and it's all up to Tanji, still on full health, still holding on to site. He's got 2 players, one at full health, one about 75 health, 75% to take down. However, he still has good positions, got lots of utility to work with. However, the attackers do have a soft breach and a hard breach to work through. 30 seconds now, so they're going to have to make it quick as a grenade comes in and might actually be the thing that ends Tanji's life. Fortunately for him, he has rotated now as he watches for these last 2 players. Last one as only 1 player remaining to take out.
Actually does manage to get Diffuser down now as he takes Jumpstream out. The remaining health now removed from the Buck, which is going to leave him in a 1v1 situation. 100 health left for the Maverick here. He's going to choose to jump into Jim, which might not be the smart choice. Has to rotate now to retrieve the Diffuser. Tanji will hear this. All he has to do is play for the Diffuser. Skonic has no clue where he is. He's running around frantically hunting for this frag. The sound cues are off, and it doesn't matter. On time, Swinster are going to win the 3rd round on the top floor, which now allows them to go either back downstairs or to the bar, and I'm hoping it's bar. I really am, but I don't think we're going to see it.
Both teams there, and also us, holding their breath a bit there. Very, very close, as it was just a matter of time. Had old mate Tanji actually swung out a little bit earlier, it could have gone the other way as well, as Throwables getting very close to closing in on his position. But nevertheless, a good defense there from Swinister. They really put a lot of pressure on that cache area, and it took so much utility, so much time for the attackers just to clear them out. It was a 3-3 trade at the end of all that, and they still hadn't even made it onto site yet. So good effort there from Swinister. Throwables just missing out by the skin of their teeth.
I think Peepo, especially in that situation, last alive inside of Cash, single-handedly takes out 2, proceeds to waste another 20-30 seconds of the attacker's times, really solidified the difficulty that it was going to now take for Throwables to win that round. Yes, they did get it down to a 2v1. Yes, Tanji did clutch it, but imagine, it could have gone both ways. That is the beauty of Rainbow Six, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, Throwables didn't make it happen. Now down 0-3. Swinster looking good for their defensive half. I will say the strategy is definitely in play here. You can tell just by the way that they're playing. I'm quite curious as to why we're not seeing the Mute Mozzie combo. We do see Throwables having a lot of really good drone utility. Now, Pickett is actually bringing the Ace as well that I talked about, and the Hibana and the Maverick. So there's the triptych. But yeah, Mozzie could be paired very well with the Mute, especially on this top floor roam. Does have the shotgun, could replace Marshmallow on the Aruni, but maybe they want the gadgets instead? I'm not sure. What do you think about that?
I mean, the Renegates do help to stop some of the utility coming down the hatches. And of course, the Aruni arm makes it a lot easier to rotate and move about as well. If you bring the shotgun on mute, you do miss out on some of that long-range firepower. So, a bit of a trade-off. But I think if they play smart, they have denied enough information, and ultimately they just need to burn time, and so far they're doing a pretty good job of it.
40 seconds already gone here, and we could see Ahau actually lose his life pretty quickly. We'll spot the head of the Ace though, and Pika's going to go down. Marshmallow finds his first, looks for his second here, can't quite spot out. The head of Zofia will be live droned. This could cause them to fall off. Ahau has actually made his way into Jim now, and Marshmallow is largely unaware, will be caught off. Goof, however, is there to at least find one to equalize onto Jumpstream. Now left alone on the top floor, he's going to get a second onto Ahau, and he's gone. Drops down the hatch inside of Con, and he's disappeared, ladies and gentlemen. Owen actually eats up the Runegate damage there, which is an interesting choice, but it's a very, very quick 2v4 here for Swinster. These roams have just been dismantling Throwables, especially with Jackal still on the board spot.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the time, 1.5 minutes for one player down and 3 on the part of the attack, and they still need to clear out so much territory. I mean, we see two ways of playing Clubhouse Basement. You can either hunker down, or you can play this very extended roam. We call it the SSG roam, because obviously pioneered by SSG. And although we are missing the, the mute, as we mentioned, so far it's worked out so well, and Throwables just not able to answer to this aggressive roam that Swinister are bringing.
I think Scottick just gave up on Maverick tricking that hatch, and they're just going to Habana it instead, maybe? No, he's come back. Maybe he's going to give it another go. I'm not too sure, but the hatch is yet to be opened up here for Moto. Now, will he spot Tachanka or will Pew reign victorious? Neither in the events that just ensued. Both players are going to skate with their lives intact. Now, Owen, look, he's going to hot drop it into the side here, ladies and gentlemen. He's looking to get spicy. There go the Kairos. He's in. He's not even going to get one. Peepo's there to clean him up. Pew will go down though to Skonic. 30 seconds left for the Maverick on about 3 HP. To clutch up 3 full overhealed even Swinster members. So can he do it, ladies and gentlemen? It is going to be an interesting prospect. He's going to spot the first. He will actually take one with him, but Goofed is there to close the round out for Swinster. Now a 4th unanswered round goes in the defense's favour.
Goofed may have a goofy name, but he's showing us he's not goofing around. That's, I believe, a 3K on that round. 2 up top for a quick roam, and then dropping back without taking a single point of damage. By any standard, that's pretty good. And of course, closing out that round for Swinister. 4-0 up on Throwables map as well.
You could say they done goofed.
Oh!
Trying to roam clear. I'm sorry, I apologize to everybody watching. But all the same, Swinster on Clubhouse seem to be largely unstoppable. They get put in these deficits, 1v2 clutches. They still come out victorious, ladies and gentlemen. It's amazing to see how the Swinster ladies and gentlemen are playing currently. I mean, they have had a very exceptional map one, as we already mentioned. This is Throwables map pick, so I mean, in a average world, you would expect this to be a map that Throwables are excelling on at this given time, and maybe Swinster just have their number. The counter strategy, as you mentioned before, these teams actively strategize, it seems, in this Uni League. So Swinster could definitely have the number of Throwables here, especially if they have been doing some of that active strat reviewing. But it just really depends in terms of the preparedness that both of the teams bring. Throwables may not have had a pre-scrim. Swinster may have. You never know. It is all things that you need to take into consideration. But right now, things are definitely looking pretty dire for Throwables.
Yeah, and as we go on to the second floor site again, one of the very strong sites, usually the primary site, Throwables are going to have to pull something out of the box here and change up this pace. So far, Swinister have been, dictating how this goes, and Throwables need to throw a spanner in the works, or at least throw off that momentum in order to get some breathing time and space to work with.
Speaking of space, Tangi is going to be holding down towards the bedroom side of things. We saw him doing it in the previous round. Actually netted himself almost 3 kills. Did find 2 confirmed. But he's going to be looking to do it again. Now, they have opened up the jacuzzi balcony double wall, which is going to allow them access towards the gym. AEL struggling to make it over the first beam, however. Now to be live droned in by Pika on the replicator. Now, Jaeger is popping some shots off towards the master side, looking to shut down the drone utility here. And the replicator will spot him out, and I think he's realized that it is the replicator. He's trying to go for the one tap here. You can't quite find it. It's all a mind game. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, the Throwables trying to psych the defense out. AHOW is close, could be on for the swing here. LMG in hand, will get the Z pings, looking the wrong way, and indeed will find the first, looking to refrag. He's actually going to back off though. And Throwables are going to start with the opener.
That's a great pick for Throwables as well. They definitely need that man advantage against a very aggressive play style of Swinister. They have once again got con control, and they have got this main breach open, but anything can still go. Peepo manages to find 1 from Garage Rafters, and remember, this happened last time. They had con control, and then Tangi just swung it and took out everyone in con. So story's not over yet.
Especially with Tangi down, they've lost the con player, and they are going to either have to replace or at least look to hold on to it, because it looks like Throwables have rotated their focus now. They want to go for a split con main push. They have that main breach control. Peak is going to send the nade over. It isn't actually going to get rid of the electrocution on that wall. So wherever that Cade is placed, I'd imagine on the wall inside of the actual close to the server there, because that has been made a single wall, so that actually allows for a lot more interesting styles of denial. Marshmallow will get the first smoke out. 44 seconds left for the execute for Throwables in a 4v4 here. This is going to be a pretty hectic end round, ladies and gentlemen. Some aggression on the breach, on the jump stream. It's just going to cost Goof a lot of his HP. He's just peeking on round. He's trying to play. Oh, the 180 onto Pika, though. Takes out Suicide. Marshmallow has spotted Zofia here close to the door. Will be droned out as well. The pre-fire, though, is going to take him out. And here comes the execute. Ahau with one. Inside of the site, I believe, is going to be at least one player. However, jump stream onto Pew. Peepo onto jump stream. The bomb going down now from Owen. He's going to get off the defuse. The C4 comes out from Goof. It's now all up to Ahau. Spots one in garage, but Peepo's there to clean him up. And Swinster for their pick.
Well, that was as close as it's gotten so far. You know, bar that, of course, 1v1 chasing each other at the end. Those shots were still going right at the end. The guns were still firing. The C4 was still going off. And nobody could have guessed, you know, how it was going to end. But pre-play C4, it's the oldest trick in the book, but it works. Planter gets taken out and Peepo cleans up once again. 5-0 to Swinister.
This is amazing. Swinster have had a very good clubhouse so far. I'm very interested to see how they go on the attack. They've had a very dominant defense side, and I think that is the only way to label it right now, because Throwables are still yet to find a single round. Now, Gym Bedroom aside, they have already won. Interestingly enough, Jumpstream's going to bring the 0 as opposed to the Nomad for flank watch. Maybe they want more information in terms of the cameras, but I mean, Swinster right now, if this is setting the bar for the remainder of this best of 3, Throwables are definitely going to be struggling for the remainder of the 2 maps, because Chalet is going to be our next, keep in mind, and that does favour an aggressive playstyle. So Swinster could definitely pull that off. And keep in mind as well, Throwables are actually the Season 1 champions. So very big rounds here for Swinster.
Yeah, Swinister, I think, really came out this semester. I don't recall last semester them being this dominant, but right now, Swinister is just on a whole another level. Throwables are just getting thrown around, as the name suggests. Maybe not quite the way they intended it, but at this point, you know, the name fits.
The name does definitely fit right now. Swinster, they are doing very, very well. And as you said at the start, grand final material possibly here from one of these 2 teams tonight. We could definitely see it happen. I would be very interested to see how the remainder of this upper finals does go for both of these teams. Obviously, we do have a second chance bracket, and we could see both of these teams actually make it back to the finals if they both play really well. But so far, Swinster, for tonight, are looking pretty good. The wall will be opened up for CC, and this is now going to allow the attackers to make their way in and try and shut down this this cash hold, which we've seen already for Swinster is quite deadly.
Right now, though, the difference is that only Peepo is holding in that cache site. There is a shield back there, and I believe they will be rotating players now. Goofed, of course. Man himself will be here as well. Goes for a peek onto this player at the bottom. Doesn't quite land the shots. Now he's got players at the breach and bottom red to contend with. Pika, however, will pick him off, but at the cost of a lot of health.
Only about 20 left in the tank now for Pika. However, Goofed off the board is going to be good. One of the top fraggers right now for the defense side. Obviously, Peepo on 9 and 2 definitely looking to hold cash down with a cross now from Pew as well. So they still have a pretty good hold towards the east side of the map. Peepo is still yet to be largely droned out. So I'd imagine that Throwables are still going to struggle to take this cash side unless they choose to rotate their focus. We don't see actually too many players towards that server side. We see one outside the con window, one possibly close. So I'm going to be interested to see if they rotate towards the main breach. Pika finds another kill off screen on a Peepo, possibly from below though. So cash now clear. Throwables look to move towards con.
That's 2 minutes, however, taken off the clock. 2 players have been down, but that does mean Swinister is out. Okay, 3 players. Never mind. Throwables actually... I was going to say Throwables still have all their players, but, you know, cast a curse. So, 4v2 now as Throwables start looking to make this execute. They are in the man and also time advantage here. They do have still some time to work with, but Pika on low health could quickly drop it to a 3v2 and Marshmallow answers back as well.
The M590 in hand. Marshmallow could single-handedly shut this round down. Diffuser still needs to be picked up. Pika will find him, though. The Diffuser now retrieved. Pika for a triple. Could be on for 4. Now all up to Tangi. Found himself in a very similar position in the previous round. However, he's been able to cross out of our house glaze, and he actually takes him down. However, the bomb is being planted. Jumpstream's going to get this Diffuser off. Pika and him have actually stacked up by bed, and they are going to make it out. Now, Tangi has to reaggress into the site here. Low HP for a post-plant. Will spot the 0. Hasn't got the information on Pika, but he has 30 seconds left to make a play.
Pika on so low health, a sneeze would end him, but the pings have come out now. He is going for that pre-fire now. Tangi in a world of hurt. He doesn't know where these players are, and one is actually prone. It will be taking a page out of Pronewin's book for Onyx's Throwables' first round.
It only took them 6 to find their first, and now they're going to have their turn on defense. This is where it could all go downhill for Swinster. They could maybe not find a single round. We didn't get the 6-0 half. We could still be on for a 7-1. Depends how their attack goes, because Throwables are looking like they're bringing more of a bunker setup for the bottom floor. We got the smoke, we got the Goyo, we have the mute as well, Castle even. So maybe an extended SSG. We could definitely see that on the cards, but interestingly enough, we actually have a Lion for Swinster in play, which is something that we actually usually see Peepo on. Has gravitated more towards that Maverick role, but still an operator that Swinster like to use. And Pulse from Owen, you already know there's going to be a shotgun in his hand.
Yeah, we don't even need to look. We just know. It's just the way it's supposed to be. Of course, he'll also be bringing that C4, and he's going to make stepping foot on that kitchen area so dangerous. If they want to execute in kitchen, they're going to have to open that hatch, but if they're not careful, they could be quickly shut down before they know it. Also seeing this very interesting Goyo setup as well, holding onto that church wall. It's going to allow players to play close and deny the bottom of these main stairs. Other than that, castle setups as well, allowing them to hold onto this main stair area as well, and I assume they're going to be playing this kitchen quite aggressively as well.
Yeah, interestingly enough, the bar hatch in the moto not reinforced. The main stairs window has been reinforced. They've actually double reoed that bar wall with an ADS and Goyo shield along to accompany that top main position. So that is actually going to be where they're looking to hold on to. Castle barricades everywhere as well here from A-House. So an interesting setup for Throwables, I will say. Not one that I have actually seen before, a first time for this top stairs hold. Now, it's going to be how Swinster choose to deal with this. They had a massive defense half, and now can they have a massive attacking half? Throwables on the defense, obviously Clubhouse more of a defender-sided map, especially with Prone Wind downstairs on the cardiac sensor supporting with that Nitro. So I would definitely be scared if I was Swinster coming up against this. Dirt's not reinforced, bar's not reinforced. Very, very interesting.
Very risky gamble they've taken here. They've pulled out this new strategy that could work really well or backfire on them with lack of reinforcements. It's just a matter of whether Swinister reads into this and they realize, well, let's just avoid them entirely. Let's just go around.
I mean, this is exactly what I would be doing, sending it down blue with a live drone. They have the information on the player inside of sight. Obviously, the door is going to be the first thing that they have to get on through. AHAL will take out Marshmallow, and it looks like they're about to explode onto the site, possibly with an E1D in tow. But Goof has somehow taken a lot of damage, but Owen's there. The shotgun comes out, finds Tangi to start things off. AHAL adds to the mix with his second on the pew. The last two members now spotted out. Goof will take out Skonic, though. So a 2v4. All Owen needs to do is provide calls here for the swing for his teammates. Peepo and Goof now left in a 2v4 very early on. Make it a 1v4 as Owen takes down Peepo.
It's an unfortunate time as Goof looked the other way, and in that blink of an eye, last player alive now. He has 3 to find, but his position's been given away. His health is low, and really there's not much utility for him to work with anymore. This is what looked like a very promising rush has suddenly turned into almost certainly a Throwables round here.
Very well called, I think, for the defense. We saw a lot of them rotate back very early, gave up the top main, gave up the roam, and just came back downstairs as soon as that dirt wall was opened up. But the Nitro here from Owen, it doesn't matter. Jump Stream's there, takes Goofed out, and Throwables for their second on the board now. They only need, like, what, 3 more to equalize? So it's start of a long road here for the defense, but it's definitely a doable one now, especially on Clubhouse.
It is, of course, more defender-sided, but I'm not sure if it's a 5-1 defender-sided. Still, this is a good start, as you've mentioned. You know, every journey begins with a single step or a single round, perhaps, is what the modern Sun Tzu, or whoever it was, modern Confucius would say. And Throwables have actually made it 2. They've gone 2 rounds on the board, broken up the momentum that Swinister have been building up. And maybe this is why Throwables pick Clubhouse, because they can do this, because they can go from a 5-1 deficit and, you know, maybe even win the map.
Defenders, protect your bombs.
Especially now that Owen has shotguns in his hand. It has definitely become a whole lot more dangerous for the attacking side that he has access to an M590 and an SMG11, so something to be scared of, especially even Pulse. Owen Goof knows how it goes. He's already got it down pat now. For Swinster, that was a bit of a rough round. They had a good idea with the rush straight down dirt. That is the best way to counteract an SSG style strategy, implement a rush of some degree, but unfortunately they couldn't make it happen, really. But Swinster,
5 seconds left before insertion.
they've got a pretty promising lineup again, pretty much the same as it was. They are implementing that line once more, and I'm interested to see if it actually works this time as opposed to letting them down, because he only got 1 EED off before he was taken out, so maybe we'll see a bit more use from that operator come.
Once again, we see these players in CC and Cash. This, of course, is the place where most defenders will choose to hold, holding across that con and the doors, and the gates, of course. Sorry, and the windows, of course, and Master. So far, though, this attack is actually starting out from the other side. It will be that jacuzzi wall opened up first. We didn't actually see Throwables, you know, take that area too much, so maybe this will be different.
Oh, Sconic goes down early on to Goof. Sorry, I was laughing because as the Habana pellets went off, Pew threw his drone into it and he lost it pretty much instantaneously. Now, Pika, he's inside of server here. Now, he's going to vault on through to be met by Marshmallow, who's there ready to clean him up. Will do a little bit of damage, I will say, to the Zofia. However, no frag, unfortunately, for the defense side of things. Could have taken out Peepo, though, if he had chosen to swing that way. Ahau, however, is going to pick up a pretty easy kill onto Tangi, as well as one onto Peepo as well. A lovely headshot chain there for the Aruni. Now, low HP, though. Marshmallow needs to find this. He actually backs on out just as Aruni comes to rotate through the top red hole. So he's actually going to make it away from Cash, and it's a 3v3. Surprisingly, somehow, Throwables have walked away with 3 players remaining.
Yeah, that was looking so good for Swinister, but, you know, Aruni go burr. That was it. Ahau manages to find 2 players, and he walks away with his life. Of course, so does Marshmallow, but you have to wonder, was it worth taking, you know, giving up that territory? After all, he fought so hard for it, perhaps it is worth holding onto. However, the attackers have now rotated over this main stairs. Jump Stream will be able to get one onto Goof 2. Is unfortunately looking the wrong way. Marshmallow will be taken out as well. Pew answers back, finally takes out Jump Stream, but he's got 2 players to find and the diffuser as well.
Spot out one, a little bit of damage to Owen. The bearing in hand, flashbang comes out. It's not going to be enough. The shotgun in hand, the M590 for Owen. I'm just waiting for the swing. He's ready to go. The flashbang, however, is going to leave him completely white. And Ahau's going to go down. This is now a 1v1 with 30 seconds left. This is going to be relatively doable for Pew here. Now, it's going to be whether or not he chooses to swing into Owen. No more flashbangs left. He will go for the double reload. Now, he has to peek into Vault. He's going to create some distance. The Nitro's going to be a bait, and Pew's going to clutch it up for Swinster. A massive 1v, I believe, 3 to get that first attacking round on the board for Swinster.
Well, that round went back and forth. It was Swinister's game, and then Throwables even it back out, and then they dropped Swinister even lower. But Pew said, no, I haven't died yet. This round's not over. And with that, an easy... Okay, I'm sure it wasn't easy, but a nice 3k. And, well, on match point now for Swinister.
The easy 3k coming out to clutch it out. A big round, all the same for Swinster. Still 6-2 on Throwables map is huge. Now, keep in mind, this... Well, if Throwables lose this, which, let's be honest, it isn't looking too good. This will be their second loss all year.
Defenders, protect your bombs
That is a
from being defeated
big
by attackers.
number to consider when you think of how many games these teams have actually played.
Of course, it's not entirely over for Throwables. They do have another 2 maps possibly to work with. And of course, last time Throwables got sent to the lower bracket, they actually made it all the way back to the top and of course won the tournament. So take that as you will. But Swinister, nevertheless, are looking like they're ready to upset the reigning champions here. Throwables just not quite sure what hit them here.
10 seconds to insertion.
Yeah, I mean, Throwables on their map as well, they just don't look as coordinated as we've seen them in the past, especially against Swinster right now, who seem to just know everything that Throwables are doing. I definitely would put that to VOD review. I'd imagine Swinster have actively been looking, but as well, taking into consideration, Goofed and Peepo, the large fragging stars of these two teams, are monumental fraggers. And that is showing in their score lines. 9 and 5, 11 and 5. Just really doing a lot of the legwork in terms of the frags. Peepo opens the wall. She shoots people. She does it all. She gets bombs down. Goofed clicks on people. Entries like a maniac. And it just works for Swinster. I mean, right now, on their attack, they are doing so well. Minus the first round. In their roam clears as well as their executes. I mean, the first one looked good. The rush looked great. But Throwables countered it perfectly, I would say. But that second round, clutched up by Pew, looked pretty good for Swinster, albeit a very close round. We could see them close out Clubhouse here and send us to map number 2 very shortly.
Once again, working on this wall and also backtake as well, but Ahab will be the first to find a pick here. He will take out Goof, that star player we talked about, and that's not the first player you want to go. Peepo also will be downed and taken out, and look, we might have jinxed it there.
Maybe. It could be a little bit of caster curse. Oh, no, it's okay. Pew finds him through the barricade there. A 4v3 now, a little bit more easier to pull off than the 4v3. However, kills all the same are going to add up at the end. They still have one E, 1D left to play with, still have a hard breacher in play as well as the Zofia, so I'd imagine they're going to be trying to clear the shield of Owen here, the first Toxic Babe to come out. Shield is going to be removed, however, though, by the Zofia charge. One smoke for the cost of that shield is probably a good one, albeit the main wall not actually opened. Pika will spot Pew's not actually going to take that frag, however, though, which is only going to leave the attackers a minute here to get into the site, but Swinster have rounds to play with, so even if they do lose this, it's not going to be the end of the world.
You, however, answers back as well. He's been the only player to find those kills in this round now. And suddenly, Throwables are looking very, very trapped on this site. It's so claustrophobic and there's pressure from all around. Only saving grace, of course, is that wall is still closed. Owen will find Tangi now. And Pew actually jumps straight into suicide, but Crossfire ends his life, leaving it all up to Marshmallow.
Gonna take down Owen for one, spots the Malusi for the second, but can't quite hit the leg enough, and Ahau to clean him up at the end of the round there. Very well done by the defense. Wow, that was a shot and a half. I don't think Sophie should have lost that. Unfortunately, didn't quite shoot him in the leg enough. But defense, again, are victorious. 6 now to 3. Only 3 to equalize. OT could definitely be a possibility here, especially with that hold that we saw them bringing out in their SSG style. If they can pull that off again to the effect that they did last time, we could definitely see 6-4, I think.
Yeah, they have the pulse, they've got the castle, they've got the Mozzie, they have all the tools they need to work with. But it's just a matter of whether Swinister can read into that once again and counter it. Of course, Throwables did win their first basement round. It was of course, that very interesting top main stairs hold. Swinister tried the rush, didn't quite work out, but they've got a chance to do over. So try it again. I have a feeling, though, they're not going to do it a second time in a row.
Beepo with the Sag face in chat. Now, I query as to why Swinster haven't bought an IQ. They haven't changed their attacking lineup. We could see maybe the substitute for Marshmallow on the Zofia to that IQ to counteract. I mean, look at the utility that we have here for Throwables. We have Pulse, we have Jaeger, we have Wamai, we have Mozzie. A lot of good well, defending utility to shut down if you're an IQ.
5 seconds to
But
insertion.
something that I think would definitely be good is to actively shut down Owen, because he provides so much information. We saw it in the last time they played the downstairs. We saw him calling out the exact position of the remaining Swinster players, and that allowed them to just clean them up in the remainder of the round. I mean, oh, okay, Skonic takes down Pew in the first 10 seconds. So that's not good to lose your Havana that early, and you should be paying attention to those spawn peaks if you are a Swinster player. But all the same, Throwables are definitely going to be happy with that opener.
Q, of course, managed to clutch out that round 1v3, and now he's going to have to sit this one out. Not a great feeling, and it's probably a little bit tilting as well. A little bit more aggression here as they play the main stairs, just kind of hanging about, waiting for an entry. Sonics as well, also on the roam here, is on the main middle floor. Blind Scan will temporarily stop him from moving, but right now, attackers are looking a little bit, I don't know, slowed down? What's the word for it?
Flustered is one that I would personally use. Swinster definitely seem to be flustered, to say the least. A C4 from Skonic here, no damage to be dealt. Another E1D for the Lion. Now, Goof does have the position, does have the knowledge of Skonic, but he is going to be able to retreat down the stairs with his teammates as him, Jumpstream, and Wamai manage to disappear back to the bottom floor. Now, Swinster, in the man deficit, are going to have to now not only clear the rest of the, well, roam presence that they don't know even exists, as well as now open up these hatches without Habana, only a Maverick. So they're going to have to pick their hatches carefully here before they're executed.
Of course, the other thing about opening those hatches with Maverick is it takes time, so much slower. Of course, it's very risky on that kitchen as well. Jumpstream, however, will take out Goof in the meantime, and that's 2 star players removed off the board. Leaves it up to Peepo, Tangy, and Marshmallow to find 5 potentially for a win here.
Not too sure what happened with that breaching charge there, whether or not it was shot through the floor or it just imploded in Marshmallow's face. However, 1 frag to be found, make that 2 for the defense, and Pika's there to take out Peepo as well for a flawless, our first, I actually think, in this series so far. Very well done by the defense, and that is going to be 6-4. Now, Swinster just really seem to be struggling to close this one out so well on defense, and now Throwables are just clawing their way back up for OT.
So far on this half, it's well, we went 1-1 on the first 2 rounds, but after that, 2 consecutive rounds for Throwables. So it's been 1 round, 1 attacking round for Sinister for 3 of Throwables. If Throwables find another 2, then it'll be 5-1 defender sided either half, which is definitely not something you see every day. I mean,
No.
we talk about how Clubhouse is defender sided, but you wouldn't expect it to go 5-1 both times, especially after how dominant Swinister were, and on the 1 attack round that they did manage to win.
Maybe that's why Throwables have picked this map, though. Maybe they know that they're better on the defense side of things. Maybe they have all the confidence in the world to close this out. We have seen Jumpstream wake up a little bit, 13-6 for himself. Ahau as well, doing pretty good in terms of the entry picks. 10-7, we've already seen him do massive work on that roaming Aruni, so maybe Throwables have woken up. They've had their coffee, had their char time, they've loaded up, and they've started actually playing now, bringing it back to Swinster to try and take us to OT. I'd imagine we could see this closed out. Swinster did do pretty well on this top floor clear, so Throwables are really going to have to fight for this one.
Yeah, of course, it doesn't help when Swinister loses players early on to spawn peaks, so we really need to be a little bit more careful about that as well. But bar that, yeah, as you mentioned, this really does look it could be closed out here. Attackers now moving in from this east side, once again looking to take out this CC area. Once they have cache control, they do get a little bit more space to work with. Q, of course, also opening up this QZ wall. Once again, Jumpstream will be nearby to challenge him.
Bomb located by attackers.
Pig is going to get the drone from Peepo, so she knows that there is one roaming down in the depths of basement. However, Not going to be able to capitalize on that information at the moment. They still have to focus on the main breaches, which they have got Jacuzzi open. Still, cash is going to be an issue. Pika actually has managed to get back to the top of Secret into Lounge. He's actually going to take down Marsh as well and retreat back up Red to join Ahau and Owen up inside of cash. And they're going to lose their sledge really early on, which is going to cost them. However, a minute 30 left. They still are yet to get into the cash side of things, and I actually think they're choosing to leave it alone. They've given up on the wall. Goofed is trying to solo clear downstairs to find some frags, but with only a minute 30 left, this is going to be a relatively hard take unless they can get some control over something.
Yeah, only a little bit of damage done onto Sonics, and you know, apart from that, all of the defenders still on full health. Jumpstream now going even further, does drop down for another roam. Hugh, in the meanwhile, will be taken low. He's on 50 health, but Owen once again playing this Peepo position right up in cash. Sonics will find in the background. Oh, Hugh, however, answers back, and finally, the first kill for Swinister.
The refrag off on the little mine. Now, Gooft has dedicated that it is largely clear inside the bathroom, albeit a frost mat that is going to be there to greet anyone bolting on through. However, Gooft is going to find Picker. He's actually made his way into the bedroom hallway to the top of Red 90. Now, this could be a big position here. Owen, however, will take down Tangi. And that is now going to leave it up to a 2v3. Now, Gooft is going to be left to his own devices with Pew. Two pretty big fraggers right now for Swinster. Have to execute into Jim to get a bomb down here. There is still a Nitro in play. Goof for the double to take down Jump Stream. Now it's all left up to Ahau and Owen. A Nitro left for the mute. And Gooft is going to be able to catch. No, he's not on the rotate. Ahau goes down. The bomb, however, speaking of going down, is about to go off. No, Ahau spots the legs of Pew and Throwables. Going to find themselves another round, 6-4 or 5.
That looks so close there, and you know, we even called it. We thought that Ahau would be shut down by that Hibana, but unfortunately, I'm not sure. Might have just, you know, eyes might have flicked away for a second. He might have, you know, taken his hand off the mouse to scratch his nose or something. It's the little things, the timing. And that was it. Ahau managed to take him out and the planter, and that's 5-6. Swinister now looking in a dangerous position as Throwables have managed to claw back 4 rounds to Swinister's 1. This is the point where it's kind of do or die here. If Swinister take this out, this will be a great first map on Throwables' own pick, of course. And if Throwables take this, they've just broken their 5-1 deficit. And, you know, if you can do that, you can do anything.
Need to locate and defuse bombs.
Yes, it will definitely set precedent for the remainder 2 games. I still think that there is quite an ability for 3 maps here, especially seeing as how Throwables have actually come back from the... It was domination in the first half that Swinster just laid down. 5-1 was just huge for them to see, but as you've already outlined, we could see a back-to-back 5-1 half here if Throwables can take us to OT, unless Swinster can close it out here. Now, something else that is concerning on the Swinster side of things, they haven't really changed up their attacking lineup at all, bar the Zofia sledge swap. Do you think that this could be contributing to the issue that Swinster haven't found many rounds, or do you think that it's just how they're executing?
I don't know. I feel like when we do see Swinister win, they keep their star players alive, but when they get, you know, spawn picked or picked off early, they're not really sure what to do after that. They're not really able to push and capitalize. So I wouldn't say so much it's the operators they're bringing. I would say it's probably more that their main fraggers are unsupported, that they don't have the capability to locate and then take out the defenders.
Couple more tries, you might get it, Marsh. Just got to hit it a few more times. We love a good bugged wall. Sledge will get most of it, though, which is going to allow a little bit easier of a time for Peepo. Now, Jumpstream does have eyes on this breach, 13-7, looking to make it more. Ahau has actually also breached double digits as well now, so Throwables, some pretty big kill lines for them. Now, Goof making his way towards bottom secret. I'd imagine Swinster going to be looking for some of that downstairs control, possibly to jump in through suicide here. We'll actually open up towards the garage to try and shut Jumpstream down without dumping too much utility towards him. They do have a pretty good spread of players, but Jumpstream's actually going to get Peepo during the Maverick trick somehow there along the bottom of the wall. She was a little bit too exposed and will ultimately pay for her mistakes. Goofs is now going to rotate away, and Throwables have found themselves a very good opening pick.
Once again, this main breach will remain closed, and we'll have to see whether that, how that comes back to bite Swinister. This isn't the first time it's happened multiple times, and although we have seen them clutch up, it is the critical wall to open. It's a wall you always have to work with. Sonics, however, will find a second onto Marshmallow, and suddenly this looks so much like a 6-6 half.
Pika wipes Goof there on the fadeaway up red. Skonic to take down Tangy as well. Could we see another flawless here for Throwables? Pew struggling to repel up to suicide. 40 seconds left to find 5 kills. If there was ever a time for a 1v5 clutch, now would be when you want to bust it out. He's already hit the 1v3 this game. Needs to only find 5. It's not a big task, to say the least. We'll get 1 on the Pika. A little bit hungry for that frag. All full health players keep in mind as well. Ahow's not even going to get him. Will do a little bit of damage. Pew to find a second. It's only a 1v3 now, but there's Skonic on the vault out to take out Pew, and we are indeed going to be going to OT. Is he in the window frame?
I think so.
Yeah. Interesting angle for the Wamai there.
Interesting. I'm not sure how far back you can actually be seen from that angle. I feel like if you peek the window anyway, eventually you will be seen. If you move back far enough.
To do that. I'd say that's what I was thinking. I don't think you can. From what I know, they made it so maybe it was only shield jumping. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but
I
they
don't know.
tried to remove the ability to do that. I don't know. It doesn't matter. He got the kill. Round all the same, 6-6. Very interesting angle though.
Yeah, I feel like if he had moved back any further anyway, he would have got taken out regardless, and he definitely did not know he was there, so I don't think it would have made a huge difference whether he boosted
Probably
up.
not. Probably not. You do have a good point there, but Throwables now on the OT. They are going to get graced with defense first, which could cement them for the 7-5 in their favor. The first time they've been on top in a while in this matchup, which would be a monumental comeback. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, we went into the second half of this matchup at 5-1 to Swinster, then around the Throwables 5-2, then 6-2 to Swinster, and since then have not won a single round, and now we're in OT. This has been a game, ladies and gentlemen, all the way back to the OT, and now Throwables on the defense to start things off could definitely put themselves up for the first time in this matchup.
Will be once again a basement site hold, and the Mozzie and the Castle and the Mute all being brought. It will be a full-out SSG roam. Sonics and Jumpstream already upstairs, and I imagine someone else will probably be joining him soon.
Could be. Definitely could be. This is more of a traditional SSG, though, from Throwables than we saw them bring previously. We did see them have that sort of main stairs type hold, but this is very traditional SSG. They do have, obviously, the castle set up inside a bar to hold on to the hatch. They have a lot of the utility on that top floor. Skonic is going to be backing off, though. Not too much pressure coming through that CC side, which is a very interesting choice for Swinster. Maybe a little bit more pressure to cut off those rotates could have benefited them in terms of the early frags here, but only a minute wasted so far. Look at the information just being relayed here by Owen to the top floor roamers. This is going to be huge Throwables if they can win this round.
I do like the addition of the Jackal. They finally have adapted a little bit, and it will make droning out these roamers a little bit easier, but not for Tangy, as he does take a headshot from Sonic's, I believe. Not Sonic's, Jumpstream, and this is not looking good.
Finally shut down by Goofed. They managed to get that refrag. Pika almost caught out there by the Jackal as well, running down the main stairs. 2 players so close to breaching 15. Jumpstream just did, and Goofed is well on his way. Pew as well on on the double digits club. But the Nitro from Owen finds one. Goof is at least there to take one back onto Sconix. Now a 2v3. Owen is close. All he's doing is relaying the information for his teammates. Relaying, I should say. But with a minute left, there is still so much they can do here. They just need to find their kills.
2v2 now. 2v3, it's very close, but of course, the main difference is that extra player, the Pulse. He knows exactly where these players are. Goof will be tagged out. One more will be rotating over, and Goof finally manages to find one. It's a 2v2 now, but with a shotgun of Owen strike back, will Goof and Pew win out? Well, Owen managed to take out one, and now it's all up to Pew. He's clutched one. Can he clutch it again? AHAL and Owen stand in his way.
Oh, no. He's not even going to get a chance. Owen's there. Throwables to walk away with their defense round. And now in the lead. Set the teabag as well. Just to add insult to injury. Round 14. A huge game so far. OT match point now in favor of Throwables. Not something I thought I'd be saying after that first half. I will say, pleasantly surprised. Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior, the M590? Well, in that case, the M10. However, Owen is a man of the church, and he is definitely doing the church proud tonight.
Well, if anything, I am going to have to apologize to Monash for ever doubting you guys, right? 5-1, and then look at that. 5 rounds in a row from sitting at match point. They knew if they stuffed up any little bit, it would be map over, but they came back 5 rounds, and now suddenly they're looking like they're going to win this out. I guess this is why they're the champions. This is why they beat RMIT Black last season. Of course, why they are best at what they do. Look at them go, 7-6 match point.
I mean, they won that last season for a reason, and we could definitely see them doing it again if they keep up this type of play. I mean, down 5-1, mental should be chalked at that point, but no, Throwables, they're not letting it happen. All the way back up to 7-6. 4 rounds, keep in mind, unanswered to take them to that OT point. So very well done by Throwables. As Spud said, should never have doubted them, given the capacity that these guys have to just win their ones. I mean, so far, the roam from them, the roam clear, well, maybe not the attacking side. The roam from them has been amazing on their defense. Now it's going to be whether or not they can actually clean their attack up, because this is the bit that cost them 5 rounds.
Goof and Marshmallow once again on that top floor, and of course supported by that Thunderbird as well. Monash are really going to have to make sure they cut off those rotates as these players fall back. They, of course, have that hatch to work with, and all these gates to kind of deny utility and players coming through. But, you know, now is the time. Now is the time for Throwables to take this 8-6, and if they do, what a way to do it.
Could be big for Throwables. 8-6. That would set them up well for the remainder of this series. However, Swinster now on the defense, the side they did so well on. Need to get the rounds on the board. The swing from Goof, he's going to be rewarded onto Sconix. 17 for him so far. Keep that in mind. Marshmallow's going to back off as well. They're going to take that frag, and they're going to disappear down red back towards Secret. They're very, very graceful for that pick, especially onto the Maverick as well. One of the hard breaches now removed for Throwables, but good for them. They're bringing 3, so they do have a couple of backups left.
That's roughly about a minute and a half now for that pick, but Attack is still kind of working through this top floor. They're not quite aware that the defenders have fallen back, and it's only a matter of time, though, before they realize and they can start working the rest of the site.
A lot of drone work being done by Throwables. A lot of time being wasted as well. Opening up some kitchen vertical from the top floor here, actually, by Jump Street. Waiting for the Nitro. A good way to avoid the Nitros, I should say. But no Nitros yet to come out. We'll be getting this hatch as well inside of the bar to open up that Moto possibility, as well as the main hatch. Now, have they reinforced it this time? They have. So no cheeky Nitros to come out from the Swinster players, unless they want to try and take a bun out. Hippo looks like she's invested. The Nitro has possibly, yes, it has come out, but no one's there to receive, and the hatch is going to be opened up now for Throwables. This could be the execute that ends it all.
They are a man down, but I don't think it matters at this point. These players are just so good at this that they can fight back from anything. They can fight back from a 5-1. What's one man down? Tanji now in this blue generator area. He is, of course, this linchpin here. He can deny both main plants and dirt and anyone coming down blue. Goof, however, will find one onto jump stream and falls back now, and the execute's starting to come out. Players actually starting to push from dirt. I don't know if they are aware of this. No pressure the entire time, but now, oh no, one gets taken down. Owen answers back, but he's got one all by himself. And Pew, Peepo, and Tanji will find the last kills for 7-7.
The max OT. Every single possible round that could have been played here tonight has been played. And it's going to end with Swinster on the attack and Throwables on the defense. Look, given what we've seen so far, I cannot safely say that it is one team or the other that is going to close this out, because both teams have been doing amazingly so far. I mean, the fact that Throwables clutched it up all the way back to max OT, Swinster started it off with a 5-1 half. There really is no way to say, yes, this or this team will be victorious, because both of these teams have put in monumental efforts in their own retrospective. And so far, I would even go as far as to say Throwables have upped their defensive game a little bit more than Swinster have. The roam that they bring is so much more devastating to Swinster, because it just seems like they can't deal with it. Also, can we highlight Goof is almost on 20 kills. So that is massive.
As long as he doesn't get spawn peaked, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be what a way to go. Hey, on the very last round, almost getting to
Final
20
round.
and getting spawn peaked. Wouldn't want that.
No.
But man, all these players putting in the hard yards. It's, you know, it's not just one play. It's all about the team, and you know,
5 seconds to go.
it's going to be a shame when one of these teams inevitably has to lose.
Locate a bomb and
You know, because they have just played so well tonight.
I mean, look at the scoreboards from both teams. AHAL 12-9, Jumpstream 15-9, Owen 12-9, even Pika and Skonic 7-9 for themselves. But then again, same thing on Swinster. Peepo 10, Goof 18, Pew 12, Tangy 6. I mean, the frags across the boards, as you said, it is a team game. Especially Rainbow Six is a massive team-oriented style of game, and both of these teams have been performing amazingly tonight. Now, Main Breach is opened up here for Swinster. They're not going to put Peepo to the test for the Maverick trick, because Jumpstream somehow manages to find her on the opening of the wall. So, pretty good that they've used that utility. Now, could be on for the frag here. Will spot the Wamai, but no Skonic to open things up on the Pew. That is a big frag to lose early, and he has now breached double digits for himself as well.
Well, last time we saw Pew take out Sonics on that suicide window, peeking aggressively, but won't fall for it a second time. He does manage to answer back onto Pew, and I guess that's fair game, even on both sides. But this time, the wall has been finally opened up, and now they have a much better chance of exerting that pressure on stopping these rotates and maybe finally get an execute onto this backside.
Peepo is definitely in a good position to lock down any intra-site rotations between the garage. However, look at this roam presence. Pika
The bomb diffuser.
puts Goof to sleep. No 20 for him. Pika, however, is still going to be hunting for his kills. A nice shot from Goof. Indeed it was. A very big kill for Throwables to find, and I will say it's probably looking like a defense closeout here. They do still have some hard breach. They don't have any more E1Ds. A bit of soft breach left, a few nades to work with, but 5 members of Throwables still stand. Pika's the only one to take some damage. It's looking really good for Throwables right now.
Peepo, however, answers back now, one onto Pika, and she knows there's one more player in Rafters. If she gets this kill, it will be 3-3 and even back out. Still about 50 seconds to work with, so anything goes here, but so far the attack looks like it's stalled out. They're just waiting it out, and they can't do that. They have to make the push here. After all the momentum is in their hands. Drone's coming out now, a little bit of information, any bit helps. But the guns are ringing out, and Peepo might not be able to find it.
Gotta get the entry here onto somebody. She will indeed. However, a team kill on the Marshmallows, not good. However, does find Jump Stream at 2v3. Very doable here. The Volt on in through Suicide isn't going to be found straight away. Could definitely get the bomb down. Peepo finds one. They know that Owen's at the top of red. A triple for Peepo. No more for her, though. Tangy needs to find two. He's not going to get anything towards red. Skonik's going to be his first point of call. He still has to retrieve the diffuser. So much damage dealt to the line through the wall, but too many angles to check, and Throwables from the ashes claw their way back to the top, and they take map number 1, 8-7. A very hard-fought victory indeed.
I guess we know why they pick Clubhouse, because they can do stuff like that. From 5-1 deficit, 6-2, all the way up to 8-7. What a game it was. And 3 players on each side breaking, 4 on Throwables and 3 on Swinister, breaking the double digits. That game had it all. Unfortunately, a team kill right at the end might have been the small nail in the coffin that ended Swinister's hopes of winning that one.
I definitely think, had Peepo unfortunately not murked our own teammate, that could have definitely been a Swinster round. We could have seen that turned around, especially if the entry had come out. But, I mean, that was an amazing game. You said it had it all. It had clutches. It had nail-biting 20-second rounds. It had max OT. It was do or die at the end. And I think Throwables got pretty well off given defense in the OT side, given that was what they were succeeding on mostly during the remainder of that game. Swinster did fight really well to keep it all the way to the end. I mean, a 7-8 finish at the end of the day isn't the worst outcome. So, I mean, Spud, final thoughts for that map before we head to a break. What are you expecting for the remainder? Are we going to see 3, or do you think that Throwables are going to close it out on the second?
I think we could definitely see 3 maps. I mean, I had my doubts at times, but I think it can still go to 3. I mean, Chalet, of course, is Swinister's pick, and maybe if they are as good as it at Chalet as Monash is at Clubhouse, who knows, might go to 8-7 again, and we could be here all night. So make sure to stick around, grab a quick drink, guys, maybe some Indomie, maybe some Chatime, and we will see you shortly.
Before we're done.
From classic iced tea flavours like peach or mango to exotic lychee or pomegranate, you can enjoy your Chatime any way you like. Chatime, shaking tea up.
Before we're done.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my head. I've been stuck on your memory, but it's not like I need it. And we may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it. You made this mess and left me with the pieces.
Our delicious new gingerbread and white chocolate Chatime is available in your choice of milky or frozen iced tea, or made hot, so you can enjoy it any way you like. Chatime, shaking tea up.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back after the short break to the AEUL upper bracket semi-finals between Swinster and Monash. A massive game for the first 8-7 on Clubhouse. It went the full 9 yards. Spud, what are you thinking going into map 2, Chalet?
Look, map 2 at this point is anyone's guess. It could go once again to a really, really close game, 7-5 at least, I'm thinking. But given how strong Throwables is, especially, working back from that deficit, they could actually win this out. They are, of course, a map up right now. But let's take a look at those stats for a second now. 8-7, of course, very close. And look at those ratings. Owen, Jumpstream, and Ahau all with ratings greater than 1, and Peepo, Goofed, and Pew as well. So fairly even on both sides.
Yeah, very, very even at the end. A lot of double digits coming across from all of the players, really, bar 3, who didn't manage, unfortunately, to breach that double-digit threshold. But, I mean, the rest of the scores here are huge. Goofed, obviously, with the highest rating, 18 and 11, couldn't quite breach the 20, unfortunately, but he gave it his best. I mean, the survival rates as well for both teams were a bit rough, to say the least, but there were so many frags going on, Spud, that it was really hard for anyone to have a good survival rate. However, the highest does go in favor of Monash, which is ON, actually, with 40%. So maybe playing the shotgun keeps him alive. Maybe it's the power of the church. I don't know. However, well, and the entry. But, however, we are getting ready for map number 2. Chalet, what are your thoughts? I mean, Chalet is a very aggressive map, most commonly attacker-sided, a lot different to what we've just seen in Clubhouse. What are you thinking, Spud?
Well, Monash are starting off on the defense, so they have shown they are the kings of defense. But that's not to write out Swinister all the way yet. I mean, they also went 5-1 on their defense half, and of course, we saw them play very, very aggressively, and that kind of favors Swinister. Favors the attackers here. So, again, it's kind of hard to call. I'm tossed. Sometimes I'm saying it's Throwables, so win this out. Sometimes I'm saying it's Swinister. We really don't know until it all goes down.
Starting things off, as always, with the bans. Throwables to take out Thatcher to start things off. Now, obviously, we could see the Floras again. Not something that I would be, turned away from. He's a very powerful operator on a map like Chalet. He's just really good in all. He is starting to become, there you go, a more common ban as opposed to a rare ban that we used to only see on Oregon. But what do you think they're going to pair that up with? Mirror Valk? Mirrorcade? Mirror Wamai?
You were on the money last time.
I was on the money.
Maybe it's actually the Pulse. Hear me out,
Could
but
be.
it could be a Pulse. Oh.
There's the Valk. All I need is Mirror, and I'm 2 for 2. This could be big.
Well, we've got a lot riding on the
A
ban
lot
here.
riding on this Mirror pick.
Yeah, just one ban. We're not here for the rest of the game. We just want
we
to
just
know
want the
pick.
bans.
Yeah.
This is like punting on a weekend. I need this. No, it's Wamai. So close. But there's the Wamai you wanted in game 1, so I guess you get it in the end.
Yeah, it's a little bit slower, you know.
Unfortunate for Peepo. Target banned even. You love to see the banter in chat. Round 1 though, Throwables on the defense. Swinster, we're going to have to see them step their attacking game up a little bit. That last game on club in terms of their attack, I will say was quite rough. They didn't succeed as much as they did on the attack, on the defense, sorry, and that, well, it cost them in the end. They lost map 1. So we're going to see now whether or not they can clean up that attack, because that really did cost them in that clubhouse matchup.
Yeah, of course, they do start on the attack here. So if they repeat what happened on Clubhouse, going into this 5-1, and then switching over with Throwables now on a more attacker-sided map, that might be just enough to tip the scale, in favor of Throwables. But we will be going to the second floor site first of all. Usually consider the primary site here. Lots to work with. Lots of players holding in piano and also aggressively on that reach as well. So we'll see how the attackers approach this. They can push from the library or from Solarium. Solarium, not so much the common pick nowadays, but still a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, Chalet is actually still quite young in terms of its competitive glow up, I will say, because recently after the rework, pretty much completely changed the map. The top floor was completely reworked, downstairs was completely reworked, and middle floor largely as well, to some degree, was completely reworked. So, I mean, still can cause issues sometimes if new strategies are being tested out, still things aren't necessarily known. But for right now, Swinster, it looks largely standard. They are looking for a library take back towards office. Throwables very similarly have a pretty standard setup from what we've seen in the current Chalet meta. So I'd imagine Swinster know what they're doing to some degree, but it's going to be how Throwables choose to play this roam.
There's no presence on that mezzanine, so no reinforcements on the library as well. But Ahau, of course, is close. He will be waiting for those wob-wobs to go off. Tanju, however, will find that first pick that we spoke about him a little too soon. Past the first tracks again. Plonix, however, will go down and Goofed finds another. Okay, looks like they have cleaned up their attack. Who would have guessed?
Start things off with some amazing entries, to say the least. Huge picks. It's 2v5, 3 kills in the hands of Swinster here. Flawless could be in the books. However, Jumpstream gives his position away, shooting at the Yana clone. Not too sure what Pew was doing there, but Jumpstream is going to benefit and take that frag for his own. Now, Pika, with a very nice angle onto the study walk in here, a 4v2, very doable for the defense. They have some good crossfires set up. They have some good positions to play, albeit a minute 30 still left for the attack to work with is a lot of time to hold on for the defense. But Jumpstream's going to take down Marshmallow.
Well, they're answering aggression with aggression. Jumpstream, aggressive peak, gets 2 players, and now they're 1 more away from evening it out, and what looked like Swinister sure win. Suddenly not so certain here. Goof now looking into sight, finds both players in piano, so position's definitely given away now, but Pika swings out, gets 1. Goofed, however, answers back onto Jumpstream finally. And Goofed, at the end of the day, will clean up.
That is what we wanted to see from the attack. That is the cleanup that they couldn't provide on Clubhouse, and ultimately now have managed to find themselves their first round on Chalet, which is a lot better than the 1 round that they needed to close out on Club that they couldn't quite get. So hopefully they can keep this up on this new map and maybe send us on to the 3rd, which is Villa, for anybody who's interested. So again, a very strategy-heavy map. I don't know. I think Swinster looked a lot better there on that attack, but Throwables are still yet to get into the groove of Chalet yet, so it could still be anybody's game.
If one thing's for sure though, and that's Swinister hasn't lost the mental game. I mean, coming from a 6-2 loss all the way to 7-7 and then losing the very last round, that's gotta hurt. But Swinister have managed to pick themselves up and, in fact, come back into this charging. They've taken out Throwables in very dominant, well, a very convincing fashion. Wasn't, entirely flawless. There were some picks and some close shaves, but overall, getting the first 3 picks without an answer is still pretty good.
Very well done on their attacking half. I mean, it was a cleanup, and very well cleaned up indeed. They managed to deal with the Brome relatively easily towards mezzanine and library side, and ultimately that has now forced Throwables to, well, not forced, but has influenced them, we should say, to change up the bomb site and give something else a go. They want to try now for the bomb and games site instead of the office for the second time. However, Swinster again on the line pick. This has, I would say, been doing really good things for them in terms of locking these roamers down. I mean, we saw it doing really well blocking Throwables out from getting as many frags as they possibly could on the defense in the previous game, but now, paired up with the actual entry, it has proven to be quite fruitful for them in terms of the picks.
Tangy, of course, already on 2 picks off the first round.
Exactly.
But, it's still early days yet. We still have a lot of work to do here, and there's some very strong positions here that can be played, especially on those library stairs. Line won't be enough to get him out. However, Pew will be enough to force Sonic's out. Nice headshot there. Ends Sonic's life.
Sonic's life forfeit on the alibi. Early on here, a minute to take down one player. Relatively good in terms of the grand scheme of things for Swinster. Now, an interesting angle being played on the rappel here. Pika could find the head of that attacker, but I don't think he is going to be graced, unfortunately, at the moment. Pika, no, he will. He's going to find Goofed, takes him out on that rappel, and now a 4v4. Throwables have managed to equalise for their lost teammate. Owen a little bit too gracious with the SMG there, tries to take on Marshmallow, but the LMG cuts him down, and now puts them back down in the man deficit, 3-4.
Wall starting to be opened up here gives them access to the office area and start challenging this library stairs player, but they still have to get onto site, and there's still a lot of legwork to be done here. Shield with the ADSs, of course, will also make it very difficult, and with that shield gone now, they can finally get a chance to start pushing up. Oh, no, it's still there.
It still survived. They haven't cleared out the shield. The utility usage, a big issue so far. Nitro, unfortunately, hits the roof as Tangy takes down Pika. A 2v4 now. Swinster favoured. That Nitro hasn't been blown, actually, yet by AHOW, so that could be being played for some camera information. Possibly a Maestro Evil Eye there to provide the call for that Nitro. The attackers do hear it, and they know that it is close by. They're not too sure where it is, but there's only 30 seconds left here for Swinster to play with before they have to get a bomb down or find the remaining 2 players. Here comes one of the remaining E1Ds, and Jumpstream's going to kick things off with a frag onto Peepo. 15 seconds left now, a 2v3, largely doable for the defense here in the positions that they have. Pew falls now as well to the Alder. It's just a bullet hose, ladies and gentlemen. Can keep sending rounds down range. Tangy to take out Jumpstream now to get the bomb down as well. AHOW needs to clutch things up in the post plant here. He needs to find the planter, but behind the bar on the wrong side, he will be able to get it off. Takes down Marshmallow, however, though, looking the wrong way. AHOW to close the round out and to get the defuse for the defense.
Have eyes on the diffuser.
Well, that was so very, very close. It was looking great, actually, for the attackers, but just a little bit tripped up on the execute. Ran out of time and was forced to funnel in through that doorway where, of course, Jumpstream was holding down Mouse 1. Did get traded out, of course, eventually, but damage was done. 2v1, and AHOW, of course, they didn't know his position and able to pick off the last 2 players. So overall, not bad from both sides, but Swinister just a little sloppy on that execute.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a unfortunate turn of events, especially when the Alder got cranked up and started dealing out the damage, managed to find almost 3. That was huge for the defense there. If that was not there from Jumpstream, I think it would have been all towards Swinster there. They look good for the execute, but with such a rifle in hand, as I said, work can be done. And work indeed was done to secure the first defense round now for Throwables. 1-1, equalising. But could this be the map that they close it out? Or, well, Mirror is still in play here, so this is definitely going to be an interesting side to say. But are they going to close this out in terms of the defense? Could we see them bring a 5-1? We did see them in Clubhouse bring a 5-1. Could they do it again here, you reckon?
Well, if what we've seen so far continues to hold true, then yes, they definitely could. Maybe that one round, that one kind of whipped execute is it. And they're saying, right, here and out, foot on the gas, Throwables aren't going to get another round in this half. Of course, you mentioned that the Mirror is in play, and we don't see Mirror often. She's often banned so much, you know, sometimes you kind of forget how to play the Mirror. And you forget how to deal with it as well. They do have the Twitch to counter it, but, you know, we got to see where these Mirrors are placed, and with the mute on board, it could be very difficult.
The drone work right now for Swinster has to be on point, especially for a map like Chalet. You need to know where every player is, and you need to not let them roam out of control, because if you do, that is going to cost you, because you then have to re-drone. It's such a big map, you lose control, and then you lose a lot of time. I mean, right there, 30 seconds left. We already saw it come out from Throwables there. 30 seconds left. All they had to do was hold their angles, and what happened? They clutched the 2v4, albeit it was the Alder. They still clutched the 2v4. So it's going to be interesting to see how they attack this kitchen, especially with this top floor roam. And they've still only got a little bit of control with 50 seconds gone now. The drones are still coming out for the top of mezzanine.
They do need to be careful as well with the flank watch. They don't want anyone flanking up those fireplace stairs. Sonics, however, will find Pew, and that's the Twitch drones gone as well. So those mirror windows, if they haven't been opened already, will be remaining firmly shut. Attackers now taking their time to kind of drone this player out of piano, and it's burning up a lot of time. They're kind of stalled out in this library here.
Well, they have seemed to lose a lot of time trying to clear this top floor, and it actually seems like they've largely given up on it. Only now opening up that main office double wall with the Habana pellets, having only bought one hard breach, which is going to be that Habana now. A little bit of damage dealt to Pika and a little bit of damage dealt by Pika. Makes himself a rotate here, but the defense is still holding on to this top floor, and there's not really too much that Swinster seem to have done about it. They've largely ignored it to most of the degree that we've seen them pushing. And now they have to open up the main wall with only 6 Kairos pellets, which isn't even going to allow them to crouch into the site. So this is going to be relatively hard for them to pull off with the remaining 50 seconds.
Come out wherever you are.
Moved also on really low health, but a nice headshot could end things here. They have given up this top floor control, as you mentioned, but no, Ahau is actually still on the roam. Pika also finds one, and suddenly this is not looking good for Swinister. This might be the round that seals it. 5-2 now. Goof finally gets one back onto Sonics and starts looking for a way in, but with top floor control and nobody watching the flanks, it could be an end very soon.
Well, as you've just said, 4v3 was a 4. Peepo finds one onto A-House, spots the head of Owen for the second, Jumpstream, sorry. Can't quite land the shot to make the kill come out. Getting spotted, I'd imagine, from somewhere maybe. Hence the hesitation from Peepo. But the mirror is still in play. Will be spotted out by Jumpstream. No shots to land. Peepo is actually going to find Owen straying away from sight. Pika is set up above those, so it's going to be largely impossible. She's not even going to make an attempt into the site. And the defenders are going to walk away with another round under their belts.
That's 2-1 now to Monash, of course, and although it may still be early days, this could be telling here. Even though this is attacker-sided and a Swinister's pick, Throwables are holding their own and then some. They've managed to really take the fight back to Swinister, and in that round, they've really looked in control of what they were doing. Again, it's still early days. Swinister could come back and really find some rounds here, and as we've mentioned, they're very aggressive, but it's starting to look like things are slipping a little out of Swinister's control here.
I think mental has definitely come into play here for Swinster. So good in the first half of that clubhouse match, and now after losing the Clubhouse match, after going 5-1, I think Mental has definitely taken a little bit of a hit now for, well, obviously the second map. It is going to be a best-of-3 series, so they do have a second chance here to try and get that map back, but the Mental right now, especially if Throwables can end this half on a 4-2, Swinster are definitely going to be in a bit of trouble, I think, for their defensive side.
Yeah, I guess how this plays out will really come down actually to this next round. Well, or our predictions at least.
5 seconds to go.
If Throwables do manage to win this next round, then suddenly my predictions of Swinister being able to take this to map 3 just drops. It really looks like Throwables have gotten their act together. And, you know, who knows? Maybe Swinister come back. It's still, you know, anyone's game, but it's those little moments that can make such a big difference.
100% agree with you. The little moments are what makes these rounds go. I mean, frags here and there are great and everything, but positioning, how it's played, the strategy is all a big part of it. Now look at this. Goofed has walked all the way up West Main, largely uncontested, will spot Peeker, a lot of damage dealt, will finally be graced with that frag to take down the roaming Jaeger. Now Goofed has lost a lot of his own HP here, but this opening pick is going to be very good for the attack. However, Owen with the clash setup here, Skonic to support on the Solar Stairs is an interesting setup to see. AHAL, however, though, will be able to get a very late refrag on the Goofed. This is a pretty good start, I would say. Okay, well, AHAL takes down Tanchi as well. And as I was saying that, Swinster now down on the deficit.
This clash seems to be working out pretty well. It's feeding a lot of information over. And AHAL managed to find a third now onto Marshmallow, who quite questionably just decides to swing in there. Not the best decision. Starting to look like, as you mentioned, that Mental coming into play here. They're getting a little bit frustrated. They're trying to take those fights now, and we've seen this before. Throwables are quite good at those 50-50s, and they seem to be getting off the better out of these engagements.
Yeah, the winning the wands is definitely coming into it here for them, I'd imagine. Jumpstream close on the door. This could be fruitful for him. He could find both. Flashbang, though, is going to mean that he can't see too much. But here's Skonic, a knight in shining armor, if you will, to come over and support with the Clash Shield. He's going to hold the attackers at bay for some time. The Nitro comes out, can't quite get the shot off to deny it. Pew will actually find one onto AHAL, though, which leaves it in about a 2v2 if you take Clash out of the equation. However, 50 seconds left, no wall open, no real control here for the attackers. It's going to be relatively hard to crack the Throwables defense, I think, in the remaining 30 seconds.
The upstream also close to provide support, and he's looking to swing onto this wall, but the Clash is still standing. The information that's being passed out and just the delay in games. It's so huge here. Pew now going for the knife, but he will not make it. Jumpstream, in fact, will be the one to clean up.
Apparently it's Owen. Maybe it wasn't Jumpstream that cleaned up. I don't know, it came up in the kill feed like that. Maybe Owen downed him and Jumpstream finished him off. I don't know, with the new mechanic, that's sometimes how it works. Not sure. Either way, someone got the kill, the round ended, and Throwables got the round. So that's all you need to know. Yeah,
one thing that's for sure was that play was stuck. Crossfired, there was nothing they could do. There was a Clash facing them down, and even if they managed to take out Owen or Jumpstream, the other would have got them. It was just a lose-lose situation. There's not much you can do except for, you know, pick up the pieces, work on the next round. And at this point, for Swinister, it's trying to get a 3-3 half on their own map, which really is not the best place to be in. They can still do it, of course, and 3-3, they could potentially work up a very strong defense as well, as we've seen. But Throwables looking like they're in control of this map.
Both of these teams seem to be very heavily focused on the defense side of things. We saw a very good defensive half from Swinster, and then on the switchover we saw an equally good defensive half from Throwables. And then ultimately, I think if Swinster had had the first defense on OT there, we could have seen Swinster take away Clubhouse. I 100% believe that. But it isn't how it turned out. And I think defense is the main focus of both of these teams because, I mean, if we look sort of speaking in previous rounds that we've already watched, defense has been one of the best round, sort of sides, sorry, should I say, for both of these teams so far. So, I mean, defense is really where it's at, apparently, on a map especially like this, which is usually attacker-sided.
Having said that, you don't want to rely too much on, the ability for you to get that, get the side of defense, especially when it's not your side pick. You need to be able to both attack and defend. You can't just rely on, waiting for people to come to you. You have to be able to do all the planning, do all the, the entry, and have the initiative. And that's where great teams usually shine. That's what differentiates a good team from a great team, knowing how to attack.
Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, we aren't saying that these aren't great teams because they are both monumentally amazing teams. However, it does seem that defense is favouring both of these sides today. So maybe something to take into consideration for VOD review later on. As we know, this is a double elimination bracket. So once one of these teams is gone from tonight, whoever does lose in the end will get a second chance to come on back. As Marshmallow takes down Pika, he's not going to be coming back until next round. AHAL could find the refrag. Goof's going to add one for himself as well on the Scummy. And now, the 5v3. This is the first time Swinster have been looking pretty good halfway through a round in terms of the frags on the board.
Of course, it could still turn around. I think we have actually seen it before. It was looking very good and almost dropped away from them. AHAL now might be, as you mentioned, might be able to get this pick. I don't know if the drones have actually spotted him. It worked out so well earlier, having that drone, live drone, but Panji will be able to find one more onto Owen, and Marshmallow finally taken out now. AHAL, his patience has paid off. 2 versus 4.
Funnily enough, we've seen them clutch this before. Exact same site, exact 2 operators left, so could we see them do the back-to-back 2v4 in terms of the bomb site played? You never know. Jumpstream does have the Alder in hand. AHAL has retaken some control in the top floor. Does have Master now back in the hands of the defense. Looking for a pick on this flank, but Peepo's there waiting. Catches him out on that rotate. And Jumpstream's not even going to get one. Pew shuts him down, and Swinster re-find their stride for another attacking round.
That was a great way to do it as well. If we kind of follow the action, it seemed that Monash were just kind of finding ways to react to Swinister. Swinister had all the momentum. They knew what they were doing, where they were going, and I especially like the live drones following that Marshmallow was following in. Pika was so preoccupied with shooting the drone that he didn't have a chance to actually take out Marshmallow. Of course, AHAL later on managed to find that trade a little bit late, but a trade nevertheless, but did leave him on very low health.
Yeah, the drone focus there, unfortunately, for Pika was a bit rough. he manages to get it in the end, I will give him that, but it did cost him his life. He did do a lot of damage to the Zofia, though, so you do have to give him that. He did at least do a lot of damage before being taken down, so hats off. All the same, the roam game from Throwables, pretty good, but that round, particularly, Swinster had the number. Now, we've seen them win Kitchen already, quite well, would I say, too. The mirror has quite a large effect on the hold, and it is going to be whether or not Swinster can get that top floor control. Vertical is going to be a big part of this, well, of this take for them, because we didn't see them get that vertical presence in the previous round. And I think that was ultimately what cost them in the end. It came down to not having enough utility to open up walls they needed. It came down to not having enough vertical to contest the angles inside of sight, mirror, etc. So we could definitely see that be an issue again if they don't clear this top floor out, I think.
Mirror once again setting up. We do see that mirror window facing down that library hallway. It's going to make it very, very difficult to push down there. And of course, with the claws and the claws holding onto that office wall, opening up is going to be a real pain. But for now, it will be a library take here, as Marshmallow already looking to push into this balcony area and cut off anyone who might try to rotate out of library early.
Activating shock drone.
Marshmallow is just lurking at the top of mezzanine balcony here. Looking to possibly Zoth breach in maybe and try and contest the players inside of office. Now, Owen obviously knows that there is a player close by. The shotgun in hand, he's going to go for the swing. A lot of damage dealt to Marshmallow. It's about a 50-50 trade, but the LMG is going to win out in the end. And Owen goes down. Didn't believe in the church enough in that gunfight. And Swinster are going to now take the opening frag 5-4. However, Ahau could be on for the refrag. Oh, he could be on for the refrag here, but he seems to just be AFK waiting for the push.
Ahau also prone close to the floor, but he will be droned out by Marshmallow himself and will have to fall back now. Ahau's caught between a rock and a hard place. He knows as the attack is pushing him. Manages to get away just in the nick of time and looking out to fall back behind this bunk bed before falling all the way out down Solarium stairs with 50 HP gone, but alive nevertheless.
Going to leave Pika all on his lonesome in the top floor with the wall now being opened up inside of sight. They did have that vertical presence that I talked about, which has now allowed them to open up the wall. Now, Skonic looks like he wants to go for a main rotate here to try and shut down any players inside of the main lobby, which could prove to be quite fruitful for him. There are 3 players close by. Pipo's going to be the first point of contact. However, the E1D, he's going to stop him at the current moment. 45 seconds now for the execute. Here comes Skonic on the flank, though. This is where he could go big for his team. However, now spotted out by Marsh. They have his position locked down on main. Goofed is going to get him, though, to take him out. Now, 3v5, 30 seconds left. They're going to have to get the bomb down or find the remaining 3 with the mirror still standing.
Tanji will find Ahau, but Pika and Jumpstream are here to save the day. Pika finds 1, but will be locked in place by the drone. It's now up to the attackers to execute now with 1 down. It's a 3v2. Goofed, however, will make it a 3v1 now. Pika all by himself off-site will need to find all the kills.
Somehow takes down Tanji through the floor. The Nitro to open up some angles for him to play through, but he's not going to be able to spot the planter. We'll see 1 running on out. Pew is still yet to be revived. Could be picked up, and indeed he will by Goofed. Put back in the fight. Now a 3v1. 30 seconds left. He's going to have to send it down main here. But Goof's taken over the mirror position, and it's not looking too good for Pika here. He's got to get all 3. Low HP, a Vector in hand. Some good crossfires set up here by Swinster, and I'd imagine now, no, Pipo's not going to take that kill. Pika finds the first, but with not too much time left, he can find all the kills he wants right now. Goof's there to take him out. It didn't matter. Time was gone anyway. Swinster find their third, and as you said, the 3-3 half.
Something that I do want to commend Swinister for is the flank watch. They had the drones, they had that information on that Kaid. It could have been so bad for them if he had managed to get up there and actually take out the attackers there. But of course, Goofed was all on top of it. They had the line to stop him from moving. They had the drone, and Goofed took him off the board to make it a 3-3 half. Not the best, but not terrible either, as they switch on to the second half.
Yes, it was, I mean, now on the split, 3-3 is essentially just a restart, but Swinster are going to be on the defense this time. Throwables on the attack. 6-pick onto the Jackal is going to be probably good, I would say, for Throwables here, especially depending on how Swinster want to play it. All 5 running straight upstairs. Pew is on that Frost, though, which, again, an operator that we usually see, I know I said it on Club and we didn't really see it at all, but an operator that we do sometimes see, I'll say it like that, on Chalet, especially for the bar site. Very pivotal operator just to lock down or at least provide some more information on those vault-ins and maybe catch off the unsuspecting player. Interestingly, though, being bought by Throwables is the IQ, which is not an operator I would have seen being picked, especially for a bar hold.
Yeah, in fact, if we look at the utility that's being brought here, Swinister really don't have anything that's super vulnerable. They might have the Thunderbird Kona stations, but I don't imagine there'll be too much on site. So, bit of an interesting choice here, but, you know, maybe it will work. Maybe he's just looking for those players. Who knows?
Could be hunting for the cameras when people go on the little iPhone to have a look around. You never know. Could definitely be something that he's hunting for. But as you specifically mentioned, no real utility that is largely, countering bringing that IQ, as other than the Kona stations and maybe the odd ADS here and there. But goofed. Ahau didn't even react. He's going to find that frag on the opener here for the defense, and Swinster going to start things off with a frag of their own.
The great first pick, and no damage done onto the defenders here. Will be locked back from coming back up those west main stairs by one of the players there. I believe it was the IQ. But so far, he's actually managed to make it off that side, and he's gone away with it.
Wasn't for you meddling kids. He has managed to get away with it indeed. Here, the Frost sidearm sending shots towards the top floor. We still need Throwables to get in and clear out this upstairs roam. Blue was a position that was largely struggled in terms of the clear for Swinster. The utility just wasn't there. It took them a fair amount actually to get rid of it. So interestingly enough, the position still stands here for Swinster. Here comes the util burn though. Goof to find his second on the jump stream. The 3v5 now, the nade to come out as well. May clear the shield, indeed it will. This will force Peepo a little bit further down the library stairs. However, she's going to stand fast and attempt to try and find a frag before she truly disappears down to the side.
We do have a crossfire here to prevent her from being pushed up. And of course, the bottom of that wall is open, so she's going to be able to take shots at anyone who steps into the library. However, Kika will be the one who falls for that, and he will be taken out. Jumpstream, in the meantime, commenting on the brain dead position. But for Throwables, Q answers back, but Sonics is able to take him out. The fuse has dropped, but with one player alive and two for Swinister. This is not looking good.
I don't see why people don't just shoot it. They break it, then they shoot it. It's an interesting ploy, but all the same, Goofed is there to shut down the Jackal. And that is going to be the first defense round for Swinster on the board. 4-3 now. This could be where they bring it back to the third map. It's going to be interesting whether or not we see a repeat of Clubhouse or not. I mean, right now, it is early defense attempts here for Swinster, but from what we've seen on Chalet, both of these teams seem to be a little bit more even than they were on Club, I think.
Yeah, well, having said that, you know, once we got on Clubhouse, there's a 5-1 half either way, so technically, still even.
Technically.
And there we go. The IQ has been switched off to the Nomad. We spoke about it earlier, and I think he heard on our stream. He's buggered off onto the Nomad, which, unfortunately, might have actually been the time to bring the IQ here with the Kaid claws on the wall. Maybe it could actually have helped you.
I mean, IQ here probably would have been a bit better. I do agree with you in that instance. Again, not too sure what the IQ was. Maybe they were expecting a different site. Bar isn't usually the first that people go to, especially on Chalet, but is more one of the common sites, I would say. But at the moment, they're quite happy, it seems, with what they are doing on their bomb rotation, and they managed to walk away with the first, looking for the second here. Swinster inside of study with a small extension, it seems, to the middle floor. However, nothing too hectic at the moment. Goof setting up some Malusis down there. We did see this in OCL Quals a lot. We saw sort of a lone Malusi plays down inside of Dining with their Banshees and some Rios and the hatch open. This is pretty much the same setup we're seeing right now from Swinster, with Peepo there to support, maybe some ADSs as well from Tangi, but you never know. It could all go to failure, especially if Throwables read into it and completely ignore it. That's going to be, well, the events that are about to unfold.
Moving in now from the library side, this is the standard practice for most teams here. It's the first place you can kind of get a foothold in. Not being contested by Swinister, so they will be able to make it up there. And of course, through the basement stairs, one heading up to Fireplace, one heading up Blue, looking to cut off any players on this side of the map.
We'll hear the Nomads being set up now as well. Some Z pings to come out to try and help in terms of locating some of the players here for Swinster. Now, here's the roam that we were talking about. Jumpstream is edging his way down the hallway towards the door, but Goofed is currently just jiggle peeking, playing for some damage, maybe some early info, but Jumpstream's not interested. He's just chilling. waiting for Goof to get aggressive and peek on out. Can I just also highlight 12 and 3 currently for Goof? He's going mental right now. Again, supported by Peepo, though, on this roam. Now, they could choose to give it up here. They've already wasted a minute and a half of Throwables' time, which is really big. But, I mean, Jumpstream is so hesitant about picking this, and they have actually now just chosen to disappear down West Main. Peepo is sort of trying to aggress, but I believe she's just going to drop the hatch, and that is going to be the end of the roam here for Swinster.
Weren't able to find any kills, but what they did find was a lot of time, a minute and a half, even less now, as more time has elapsed. In fact, they're actually sticking to it, which is quite interesting. Pika does take some damage in the meantime, but I believe Peepo finally has fallen off, and Goofed, well, he's feeling good about himself. He's, 12 and 3. He can do this, and so does Peepo apparently. So, yeah, I think they're just going to bugger off now. It's just not worth their time at this point.
I mean, just the time they've wasted alone is huge. Only 50 seconds left here for Throwables to do anything. Owen's going to try and do the old thermite trick to open up the wall, but now with that downstairs control, Pika, good kill Owen here. No, the nade isn't quite going to penetrate through that wall. Now, will thermite the bottom, and whether or not that is going to be able to clear out the electrical wall from Pew, I don't know, but Goofed is still at large downstairs. However, Jumpstream to find Pew, that is one. We'll be able to get rid of that air jab. They have reset the Aruna gate. The bomb's now going down from Owen. Peepo returning to the site. Marshmallow needs to find an angle here. Goofed will get the second air jab. He spots one. He will get the first frag. Can't quite spot the diffuser. He's going to, however, catch Ahau as well. One inside of the side again. Goof for a second now. Up to Skonik and Owen to try and clutch this round out.
This round is going back and forth. What looked like a really good remote hold has suddenly fallen apart as attackers have made it onto site. But Peepo still in play here, takes out Owen, and now Sonics with the long range manages to find one, but Goofed triple kill and the diffuser going down.
15 and 3. Goofed is a machine, and a machine that is wired for one thing, and that is kill or be killed. This man gets frags. Yeah, and he's doing it in such style. Also, can I highlight the opening of the wall there from Owen? Not only to get the Cade off the wall, but provide an angle for the Lion to hold on the main stairs. Did you pick up on that? That was awesome. that was awesome. That was big brain from Throwables.
You know what the irony though of that round is? Goofed and Peepo were the ones in the dining room. They decided to leave them and take the 3v5 upstairs. At the end of the day, it was still Goofed and Peepo who were left alive, who killed everyone else.
Yep.
Sometimes it do be like that.
All the time wasted, all of the round, that round specifically is a Peepo Goof round at the end of the day. You can't argue with it. That was a Peepo Goof round. And I mean, it really does show the way that they played that was, I would say, pretty much close to a perfect roam. However, now down is Throwables, 3-5. We've seen them in this situation before on Club. However, we did see them bring it back to the 6-6 OT and then ultimately win it out. Do we think they're going to do it again, or do we think Swinster has finally found the groove on the defense spot?
I don't know. I feel like we'll once again get to a match point. I think Throwables will be able to bring it back. It might take them a couple of rounds to do it, but I think they can bring it to a 6-6 once again. Once we get to there, then it's anyone's guess. It's a 50-50 once again. But, who knows?
No one knows. That is the joy of the game we all love. That's why we're all here tonight. Rainbow Six, ladies and gentlemen. Riveting gameplay here this evening. I am thoroughly enjoying it now. Something that I am not thoroughly enjoying is the DMR online, especially when the V3 is so good. Owen opens up with one onto Pew though, so that is a good start for Throwables to say the least. It makes up, I think, for the DMR choice a little bit. But still now a 4v5 in favour of Throwables. First EED would have come out, a double jump in to Trophy here, a little bit of damage dealt to Pika, but site now being flooded by the attackers. They need to look for the swings here, going to lock down and isolate Marshmallow. He's going to be taken out. Now the vertical retake, Pika's getting the bomb down. This is not looking good for Swinster.
Well, if it's not working, try something else. They've decided to go for a rush, and boy, is it working. The Fuser's down, that's another 2 kills, and suddenly it's a 5v1, and we just started this round. I was saying they might get to match point, but apparently Monash is not having it.
That is exactly what I wanted to see from one of these teams in terms of the adaptions. The roams have been so illustrious and so many players off top floor, bottom floor, other side of the map. Hey guys, let's just run in through West Main and plant, and then they have to come back and all we need to do is shoot them. That is how you counter a deep roam, ladies and gentlemen. Very well done to Throwables. They only lost one man as well in the trade at the end, which could have been a flawless round, but still, having them alive up until a trade is a perfect round from Throwables almost. So close to being perfect.
Shows Throwables definitely still know how to wreak some havoc. They're not quite out of this yet. They bring it back one round closer to evening out with Swinister. 4-5, and if they win this one, it will be 5-5. Again, could be anyone's game. It will come down to how these teams play out in the next few rounds. But we will be returning to Bar Gaming, the first site that Swinister took. They did, of course, win that defense there. So we're looking for a repeat. But we finally do have the frost mats being brought out. Once again, we'll be looking to stop some of those jump-ins and hold crosses. And I imagine there will be a player on Library Mezzanine as well to hold with those frost mats.
Locate and defuse a bomb.
Definitely could be the play. As we already said, Frost is a huge pick on this bomb site. She's so versatile in the way that you can set her up. The shield, the shotgun, the SMG, which for some reason I have a compulsive need to call it the C8. But even now it's lost the 1.5 again. She is still really, really good. So good to see she's being implemented here by Swinster. Now, 4v5 for, 4 to 5, should I say, Throwables right now. They're looking for an opener again. They've been quite fruitful finding these openers in their favor a couple of these rounds on their attack now, and there's a pretty good set of angles there from Pika. He's not going to be graced with any kills just yet. Now, Swinster seemed to be a little bit more reserved after losing that round very quickly. but now they are sort of just waiting for Throwables to come to them, and Throwables aren't really too interested. A minute is gone, and we haven't really seen too much going on from either way.
Yeah, I mean, Swinister do have a really good position here. They have the shields, they have the library stairs. There's no need to kind of rush things. They can just let Throwables, push towards them. Will spot out that frost mat, so he will know, but he needs to be careful with Goofed on the loof.
Drop the bomb diffuser.
What did I just say?
Goofed
on the roam. Goofed on the loof. There he goes. Pika will find Pew.
Is that went into frost mat?
4-4. Oh, he is! Oh, no! And that's a diffuser too.
Oh no. My fingers are very bad. Oh no. Owen, unfortunate. Ahau at the bottom of blue though could be on for alert kill here. He's coming up towards the site. There is one above him on the library stairs though. He's going to be Peepo. She will finally hear him inching on round to the site, but it doesn't matter. Marshmallow is there to greet Ahau. Takes him down with the SMG. Jumpstream will spot the head of Tangi, though. Bolts on up, but a lovely shot from Marshmallow. We only got to see a very small section of it. The Jumpstream goes down, and Swinster are looking like they're going to put us on match point here. Pika is left in the 1v3.
If anyone can do it, though, it will be Pika. He is a great fragger, and he needs only to find 3. Well, Pew has already found one of 1v3. Surely Pika can as well. Does have the nades to work with, so we'll be flushing out that shield as well. But I believe they have actually fallen back of it. Going back to site now and just playing careful now. 30 seconds left, and it's all up to Pika to clutch this out, looking for those deep angles. He's going to go for a push now. Catches one player, but not able to get the shot. It's still back there. Let's reload down a quick peek, but the smoke will lock him out. He's going to be forced around to rotate as he's got 11 seconds to work with.
Peepo's there to greet him. Takes him down. Pika cleaned up, and it's going to be match point again for Swinston. And the last time we saw them go up to match point, we ended up seeing a considerably large amount of rounds all the way up to max OT. So don't rule Throwables out now is the lesson that I've learned. They're actually 2 rounds richer than they were in the clubhouse match point. So we could definitely see them take us to OT. It's only 2 rounds here. We just need to see them get some clean attacks on the board. But this is where I sort of highlighted earlier, the defense is where both of these teams are thriving right now. So unless Throwables can really get these attacks nailed for the final 2 rounds to take us to that OT point again, Swinster, I'd imagine, are going to look pretty good in terms of this final round. Possible final round, should I say.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at the difference from last time Swinister was on attack when they're on match point. Now they're on defense, and that can make a huge difference, as we've seen for these teams. Throwables are 2 more rounds up, but all it takes is 1 round. A single round, and Swinister have evened it out. It's a crazy game here.
I mean, it was highlighted at the start. This was, if any match to come was going to be a best of 3, all 3 maps, it was this match. We highlighted it at the start. These 2 teams, well, Spud said, these 2 teams have the potential to be grand finalists, and I agree. Based on what we've seen here tonight, these 2 teams, even if one, unfortunately, does have to walk away with an L tonight, both of these teams could be seen in finals again, depending on how they go. And as we've already alluded to, the winner of this will have to go on to face the winner of RMIT Black versus Monkey UTS, which will be another big game, I think. But right now, 6-4, Swinster are looking pretty good here for map 2, which could take us to Villa. So, I mean, you never know.
Here we go, Goofed and Peepo once again in the dining room. It's the same place, the same play. I wonder how Throwables are going to handle this time. They knew it, came back to bite them on the behind. Will they maybe go for that execute earlier and not waste so much time? Or will they once again actually try to push them out?
Jumpstream has walked up mezzanine here, and there is nobody there to tell him not to, so that's going to be good control for Throwables. Imagine they could open up the wall relatively quickly here again. Well, not again, but for the first time, hopefully maybe open up the wall a little bit quicker. Now, Jumpstream is going to set up inside of the main lobby. Goofed is going for an early rotate downstairs, possibly has some information on the player inside of main. Now, this is Jumpstream. He was on the IQ scanner just now. Goofed is going to hear this. He's going to walk on up court, looking at the roof. Could find himself a frag on IQ. There is a Claymore blocking his way, but the Hollow is now going to be blocking his position as well onto the IQ of Jumpstream. But no, he will find it. He's going to shoot the Claymore as well, and that's going to be a good opening for the defense.
Look at that, 17-4. Last time we highlighted him, he was what, 12-3?
15-3.
Yeah, 15-3. He is just wrecking Throwables here. And Jumpstream as well, doing great, 10-9. He will be the first to fall here. Great first pick, and not sure if that wall is actually still closed.
The fact that Goof has almost dropped 40 kills across 2 maps is ridiculous, to say the least. He is a fragging machine. Now, Pew, his feet are going to be exposed very soon, and this is going to force him a little bit deeper into the site. The first Toxic Babe to come out as well. In fact, will find the head of Sconix, but proning on the floor. Oh, when doing what he does best, he's going to get the refrag on the Pew there. Very well done by the prone master himself. It wasn't a shotgun, albeit the prone was there. Now, a double kill for Goofed. He's on for 20, honestly. Like, if he finds the remaining 2, he could get 20 in this matchup. But he's on for a triple. He needs 1 more for 20. Could we see him break the big 2-0? I'm sure the call's been made. AEL needs to find 3. Goofed only needs 1 for the 20 bomb, and I'd imagine he's hunting for it. This could be, well, it's looking like the end of the line for Throwables for map 2.
Yeah, I was going to say, not just is this 20 kills, it is actually the end of this map. Peepo already holding this door. He has nowhere to go. AEL has to make a move, and it moves right into the bullets. Peepo takes him out with a headshot. And that's the second map going to Swinister, 7-4.
Sending us to a third. Goofed. Can I just highlight, again, I haven't done it enough. This man is a monster on in the frag department. Almost has breached 40 kills single-handedly. I mean, look at the scoreboard. No one was even close in terms of double digits to keeping up with Goofed. He was on an absolute tear for Chalet. That must be his map. You never know. That could be the case. But all the same, now map number 2, it's equalized 1-1, and we are going to be seeing all 3 maps, Spud. The final is going to be Villa in this series. What are you thinking?
Look, what I've learned is that you can never really ever call it. It's just so surprising. 3-3, we thought that maybe this was time for Throwables to take away the series, but Swinister actually doing really, really well in that defense, and they were able to win 3 rounds for Throwables a single one. So it seems like they were just better at defense in this case. On Chalet, of course, this is their map pick in the first map. Also, it was Throwables' map pick. So Villa is where we really see even ground here, and both teams will have to bring their best, and especially on attack as well, because this is really where both these teams have been struggling so far.
Yeah, I mean, map 1 was, as you already alluded, Throwables' pick. Map 2 is going to be the pick of RMIT. Swinster. And then now, third pick, as you said, this is going to be the first random map that isn't going to be either or team's pick. This is going to be the deciding ground. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to cut to a short break, and we'll be back momentarily for the third map. Grab yourself a snack, get a drink, and we will be right back.
Before we're done.
From classic iced tea flavours like peach or mango to exotic lychee or pomegranate, you can enjoy your Chatime any way you like. Chatime, shaking tea up.
Before we're done.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my head. I've been stuck on your memory, but it's not like I need it. And we may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I'm gonna burn all the bridges between us.
Our delicious new gingerbread and white chocolate Chatime is available in your choice of milky or frozen iced tea, or made hot, so you can enjoy it any way you like. Chatime, shaking tea up.
Welcome back to the Rainbow Six AEL Uni Cup, and what a map it has been so far. We just saw Swinister take out a 7-4 win on Chalet after going down 8-7 in the very first map against Throwables. So definitely a long journey, but they have made it. Both teams have made it to this final map on Villa. It's sure to be a slugfest, but before we start, let us take a look back at that previous map and have a look at the stats, because some of them are absolutely insane.
I mean, already highlighted, goofed. 19-4 with a +4 on entry, ladies and gentlemen. A KD of 4.75. This man is a monster. Going into the third map, no one else on his team actually breached a 1 rating. The only other player actually, in fact, that breached a 1 rating was Jumpstream with a 1.04, goofed with a 2.10 rating. So going into map number 3, if I was a Monash member, I would be very scared of Goofed.
Yeah, maybe even I might target ban him a little bit. He's been doing so much damage with that Arudi and with the Malusi as well. Well, it's not to say that Throwables played badly. I mean, Jumpstream also doing really well, and they had it at a 3-3 half. So it wasn't bad. It's just that, Goofed doing so much damage. Of course, it's not all just down to him. There was a lot of great teamwork we saw, especially with Peepo. We mentioned that dining hold, that they were able to waste so much time and also come back up to deny the win eventually. So, yeah, overall, some great teams here. It's definitely going to be a great match on Villa.
Yeah, Goofed and Peepo definitely do seem to have that dynamic roaming entry frag-tastic duo. And it does really pay off for them. It is really beneficial for the team, because not only do they get the opening picks, the team works there, they have the chemistry. It is all good to go in terms of how they're playing with each other. But we do have the teams ready. We are going to get right on into map number 3, Villa, ladies and gentlemen, and starting things off, as always, with the bands, Thatcher. I'm not going to say Flores this time. I'm going to say Jackal. What are you thinking defense-wise?
Well, I feel like they will actually get rid of Owen's Pulse this time, because there's a lot more places you can actually play underneath, especially that trophy stat. So, but Swinister sticking to their guns, actually, it will be a Flores ban once again. I wonder whether Throwables will also stick with that Thatcher ban.
It has to be the Thatcher ban. If Thatcher is not banned here, Throwables are going to be able to run rampant on Villa, and that is not a map that you want. That is not, a thing that you want up on a map like Villa. And indeed, it is going to be the Thatcher. However, we do have now the defense bans. I'm honestly with you. I feel like Pulse could bite the dust here. However, Valkyrie is one that I'd imagine is going to go. Indeed, she will. And I do think they are going to stick the mirror ban here, because on this map, she is quite scary.
Yeah, we did see her slip through the bans last map, and she did a lot of damage. Lots of angles that were just so difficult to push. But here, you have to get rid of her.
No, it's Clash.
Okay, I did not see that one coming, I'll be honest.
Interesting ban. Who snitched? Apparently, Throwables had Clash strats, and Swinster have banned Clash out. Interesting choice. I will give them that, albeit we did see them actually struggle with it a considerable amount in the previous map. So I don't actually blame them for banning that Clash, even if there were no Clash strats from Throwables on this map. Clash is still a really hard to deal with operator on a map like Villa, because she has so much room to move around within a bomb site. But Jumpstream's busting out the Monty, and this just got a whole lot more interesting.
And sixthing off that mirror onto a Thunderbird, that again is a very interesting option. If you have the mirror to play, you might as well play it. But no, it looks like it will just be teased out and then switch back off to Thunderbird. Of course, Thunderbird has done so much damage so far. Great gun, that C4, and of course the Kona stations, really been keeping the team alive here. So I'm keen to see what she'll be able to bring to the table this time around.
Pretty heavy extension for Swinster, going for a trophy setup here. They do have the angles into the closet, and it looks like Goofed is going to be setting up. He's looking maybe for another 20 bomb. Hands down, regardless for this best of 3, he will be breaching 40 kills this map. Whether or not he gets anywhere close to the 60 mark, that would be... I don't even want to delve into that because that is how nuts that would be for him. But it could definitely happen. So keep your eyes out on Goof, ladies and gentlemen. Had 2 absolute heaters of maps previous to this. So we're going to see how it goes down. Now, jump stream on the Monty is something I want to highlight here. It is just essentially clash on the attack, but Swinster don't necessarily have anything directly to deal with it other than the smoke. No Lesion, no Malusi. It's going to be relatively hard for them, I think, to deal with jump stream unless they can figure something out early on.
Goofed once again playing very aggressively. He's all the way in Astro, looking to peek that window. He knows his player there. He knows people are pushing through the bathroom. Will manage to almost find one, takes Pika down low, but he's got to reload now. C4 goes out, might actually catch someone. Pika's back off now, and he's going for the frag grenade. Don't know if there's ADS there. But goes for the shots, doesn't quite hit them, and now... Wow, okay, never mind.
Goofed. He's on fire, but AEL takes down people. He's in it. Just a little bit of overkill there. He's going to get the second. Oh, that's funny. Sorry. One tap. Goof called it. He's dumped the mag. He's got the frag. And now a 4v3. Oh, Throwables. The Monty seemed to have helped there, though. Had the calls on Goofed. And ultimately, they managed to shut down the roam. Peepo tried to come over and support, but was promptly put on cams to the remainder of the match.
It's now slowed down a little bit as attackers and defenders try to find their bearings, but a C4 from Pew will even it out, and AEL managed to take out Goof, but he will not be playing for the rest of this round. As 3v3 now, even round once again.
You could definitely look for the swing onto Skonic here if he wants to get aggressive. Just needs to wait for that door to be shot down by the Lion. He has got the window open for himself, though, but Pew's there and waiting.
Yikes.
Finds the headshot onto the Lion. And now, 2v3, they do have the Monty in play. Jumpstream could do big things here if he manages to get up close and personal with any of the remaining members from Swinster. They're going to choose to rotate towards the bar. They still need to deal with the shield close on the bar door, though. The hard breach tool now to open up Vault. Could be mute jam, but it isn't. Jumpstream is going to get that one opened up. Now here comes the aggression. They've rotated back round to the skull door. They have the crossfire, but Owen's there to take down Pew from Study. Jumpstream has made it in. Here comes the second nest from Marshmallow. A lot of damage dealt to Jumpstream. A lot is actually going to go out on the Marshmallow, though. Finds the frag. 20 seconds left. The bomb's now going down.
Owen will be able to find that last one onto Tangy, and that will be the first round. Ironically, not a defender round. It will be an attacker-sided round as Throwables find their feet on the map.
Very well done. Very well cleared. Monty, I think, is going to be a big issue here for Swinster. Could have had... No, unfortunately, we were no when. A shame. I'm interested to see whether or not we see Swinster bring a Lesion/Malusi here and change up the roster to try and shut this Monty down. Jumpstream seems to be picking it and sticking it. A 6-pick from AEL, though, onto a knock. An interesting 6-pick.
That's new. Well, Throwables seem to have saved all their strats for this last map. First, it was a Monty, and now it's AEL on the knock. Extra frag grenades as well, so
yeah,
definitely could work with that. Meanwhile, Owen and Pew are having a bit of a discussion about that nasty shot that we did see. We didn't see Owen's perspective, but we did see Pew's get absolutely wrecked.
Up.
So, I don't know if that's what you wanted, Owen, but it's kind of there.
It's good enough. It happened. We caught some of the action. I think the real action would have been in the eyes of Jumpstream entering on the Monty there. I mean, the fact that he just has a bulletproof shield in front of him is quite scary. And I have seen Jumpstream play the Monty before, And he is quite a formidable multiplayer, I will give him that. So could be something to take in consideration for the remainder of these rounds, especially if Throwables choose to stick this Monty. But there is the pre-placed Nitro below the bathroom. Goof is playing very aggressively inside of that shower to maybe find a repel, maybe a head. He will spot the drone, though. He's not going to be greeted with any head just yet. He's also going to almost get caught out by Owen here, but he's managed to slip on by. An interesting angle here for the Nomad. However, it's not going to be graced with any kills just yet. Throwables make their way into the building. Goof takes a lot of damage from Owen here on the first engagement.
Looks like that angle did pay off, but he does get away with his life so far. Owen also takes a lot of damage. Peepo as well falling back now, and Goofed and Peepo, the dynamic duo, are making a run for it as they give up that top floor bathroom.
Nitro did go off there for Pew, but he wasn't graced with any frags. There is the Kona stations in play from the Thunderbird here, so Goofed is going to be able to go heal himself back up, and indeed that is what he's doing right now. Went from the red flashing all the way back up to almost full HP, so he's going to be returned back to the fight in a better state than he was just before. But look at the time now, 1 minute and 30 seconds left. A lot of time wasted by the roamers, albeit no frags either way. Now, Ahau on this knock, with the suppressor as well, keep in mind, he does have the double sneaky boy setup. But this could be where he sneaks into the site or catches Peepo down on her roam here. However, has made it back up main just in time. Pika takes a bit of damage, actually goes down to Pew as well, and this is looking good now to set up for the defense to hold on for this execute.
They've got the man advantage now. They can just simply trade it out and wait for the attackers to push back. Goofed, however, very aggressive once again, typical. He will do some damage in fact, down Owen, but he will have to fall back now. Once again, healed up, but so is Owen back up on his feet, albeit a little worse for wear.
Especially with Ahau now as well on low HP. Goof, though, is going to be greeted with the head of the Monty. Pew will also find one on the jump string. Goofed for his second onto Ahau, and it's all up to Skonic. A 1v5 in the books. We saw an attempt earlier. However, was not graced with all 5. Found 2, but unfortunately, I believe it was actually Throwables that clutched the round out and didn't let him 1v5. So now it's going to be Throwables' attempt at a 1v5. It's just baiting around on the rappel outside of the balcony, trying to play for some KD pad kills. 15 seconds, though. He's just going to retreat to the roof, and he's just going to be... Oh, I thought he was going to jump off.
Yeah.
No, he's going to go for the rappel on the study window. This round is going to go in favour of Swinster. Unfortunately for Throwables, he's going to get one on the way out. Pads the stats a little bit. Pew goes down, and Skonic finds 1, but it's still a defender round.
Well, that was well played from those roamers as well. Even though they weren't able to get those picks early on, as we mentioned, they managed to waste time and then fall back and live to fight another day. Of course, with the Thunderbird Kona stations around, Goof was ready to go a second time when he did down old mate Owen, and then, of course, a third onto Ahau as well. So, almost a flawless round, as we mentioned, but still a good way to get the first round on the board.
Very good first round as well to find. Finally locking down the AVG site. Now it's going to be a trophy stat attempt with the Frost in hand. Peepo busting out the Canadian operator. Now, it is going to be how they set this up. Are they going to open up the main wall? Looks like they are. They're going to extend possibly into the depths of Closet, maybe even Master, with some Frost mats to support these vault-ins. The shield is one that I have seen quite a lot, so this is going to be a relatively in-meta strategy here for Swinster. Now, Throwables do have the utility to clear this out. It's just going to be how they use it. There is no direct grenade utility here, should I say, direct impact explosive here for Throwables. So the buck from below is going to have to be their best bet, I'd imagine, for clearing these spots out.
We'll have to see whether any players actually choose to challenge downstairs as well, because so far it looks like they're mostly holed up on site. They have reinforced the study wall, so I imagine one player at least will be playing a roam and then falling back, but so far not really any downstairs presence.
There's been a little bit of a lack of a roam from Swinster, it seems, to some degree in terms of the depth. There is one player, it is going to be goofed downstairs. He's actually going to win that fight against Pika somehow. Miraculously finds that frag. An amazing start for the defense, and I do believe he has actually now breached the 40 kill threshold. I think he's actually on 41 right now. But goofed. 4-1 right now. He's still finding himself so many kills. Finally shut down now, though, by Skonic. There is one more player downstairs they're going to have to deal with, though, trying to run away. Skonic's going to blind himself, which will allow Marshmallow to possibly rotate away here without being taken down. But no, Owen's there. He's going to find him for 2 frags on the roam clear. Throwables have got themselves set up pretty well here for the mid-round.
They haven't used up too much time either. They've still got about 1 minute and 45 to work with. They can start, opening up the floor here. Buck will be in play, so we'll be able to take out the Electro Claw and also any player behind the shield. So this is good positioning and good time management as well. Having said that, they still need to get onto site, and Hippo and Pew still very much alive and still very much able to shoot back.
It is a doable man deficit. 4v3 is not the end of the world. Still 100% health on all these players as well for Swinster, with Skonic on a little bit less than that. So, could definitely be doable. A lot of flashbangs in the tank, though, for the attackers. Main wall now being opened up as well with the vertical play from below. Is going to cause some issues for Swinster, but with 1 minute left, they have good positions to hold on here. EE1D for line to come out. It is the first of 3, so still 2 left for the execute. Peepo largely blinded, but no one to capitalize. Line could look for the walk in here. The Z-ping has been given to Ahau. A lot of damage through the wall. Jump stream to find Pew. Coming up Astro stairs is going to be 1. Peepo's there for the first. Can't find the second on the Owen for his double. Tangi now in a 1v3. We've seen him do it before. Can he do it again here with 30 seconds left?
So much site control, however, has been lost, but Tangi shoots back, takes the diffuser down, but Sonics has none of it. Cleans up the last player for another attacking round for Monash.
Huge execute there for the attackers. It looked good. Peepo, if she could have found that second, could have single-handedly slowed that attack down to a clutchable state. However, unfortunately, Throwables are going to walk away with it. Now, Swinster put on the deficit 2-1. They're going to have to claw their way back. What would you say this map usually is? Is Villa more attacker or defender-sided in your professional opinion, Spud?
I think it's one of those 50-50 maps. It's actually a 50-50 because people have just played it so much they know how to attack it. At the same time, there's a lot of room to maneuver, both for the defense and the attack. Defenders have a lot of room to roam, but attackers also have more breathing space. They're not so crowded. They have that space to breathe, if anything. Yeah, so that's my thoughts. What about you?
Traditionally, we've seen it be, well, from my perspective, what I've seen, it has been somewhat largely defender-sided, but I think you do have a good point. It is sometimes it can be 50-50. Depending on the teams that play it, it can be 50-50. Usually it's defender-sided, I would say, but I don't know. Right now, it is very back and forth between these two teams. It is very Evo, I would say. We see it a lot in Evo. So, I mean, 50-50 right now is definitely, I think, what I'd put my money on in terms of how these rounds are going.
Goofed once again on the roam. Same spot. Pew will be supporting him as well, this time on the alibi. Clear this time is actually coming in from the study side. Last time we didn't see any players pushing in through here, but they have changed up their strategy. They are adapting, and that's good to see. They realized that there was a lack of presence over here. In fact, no players are over here. Marshmallow only now starting to push up. Will he get a kill, though? Here we'll go. No, Ahau takes his head right off. Right off the bat.
Ahau to open things up. Marshmallow having a little bit of a rough third map here. 0-3 right now. Going to be put on cams for the remainder of this round. He's actually spectating his teammates right now. He's got his eyes on Tangi. Maybe all the defaults are gone, but Tangi's going to take a little bit of damage from the very same player that did just recently slay his teammate. And that is now going to allow Throwables some good breathing room to take, well, from the south to the north here, through landing towards the site, setting up the flanks. It's good to see them keeping all of their angles covered. But now it's all about the execute. A minute and a half gone. They have the opening pick in their favor here, and now they just need to start making a play towards the site. The Goofed is on a very deep flank.
Might actually come up red or even put a C4 into this position here. Just a little bit off. In fact, he might be going for a timed run. No. Owen will get away with his life. No damage done from that C4.
Unfortunate for Goof there. Pika will be spotted. There's some damage to Pika, but not enough to be notable at all. He still stands and can still fight. Same with Peepo. Has taken a little bit. It is a 4v5, so not completely undoable here for the attack. Now, Tangi has a good position. He needs to hold on to Master as long as he can here if they want to have a chance at holding this offense off, because here comes the entry. Pika will find Goofed on the first pick. 5v3 now. 40 seconds left. They've got to get a bomb down here or at least find all 3 kills, but it looks like they're going to regress into Master. Pew is on his way through. Tangi's going to find one on the jump stream from below, but not the second. Pika to take him down on the trade. Pew's there to find the trade back, though, onto Pika. The bomb's going to go down now from Owen. It's going to be a post plant. Pew does have Master control. However, though, he's going to be able to spot out one. However, taken down by Peepo. It's 2v2 in the post plant.
Even ground for both players, but the timer is ticking down now. Ahau and Owen last alive. Owen does have the health advantage, but a faster gun from Pew takes him out. 1 down, and now it's all up to Owen. But look at this, is hiding in the rat spot in the bushes. The air jab gives him away, and now it's a 1v1, but position has been given away. Peepo now going for the swing on low health. The gun advantage, but the foot is not enough. Owen takes out Peepo for the first consecutive round, I believe, on this map.
He was proning in the bush as well. Keep that in mind. The prone king himself. I'm sorry. The rat spot from the man himself. Owen. We've seen him do that before, funnily enough, in AEL. So I'm honestly not surprised that he clutched that round out from a plant pot. Very well done to Throwables. A 3-1 now, and it is really looking like they're getting these round counts on the board to try and give themselves a better attempt at defense. But we are going to have to pause timer because Pika does have a sound glitch, which is a shame. But a small rehost possibly to ensue. Well, not a rehost, a reconnect, should I say? Sorry, from Pika. But again, Throwables so far on their attack, Spud, have been looking pretty good, pretty solid.
Yeah, and this is actually a break in the kind of the trend we've been seeing over the last 2 maps. Last 2 maps, people were just terrible on attack. Both teams, they just were not able to really gain much significant foothold, and it was all the defensive game. Here, though, it's actually attacker-sided for some odd reason. Will Swinister be able to catch up? They're 2 rounds down, but potentially it is quite doable, I think.
Yeah, 3-3 is definitely still in the cards, I think, for them, especially if they up their game, maybe switch up the roam style, because the roams, albeit they have had a couple of players away from site trying to roam, they give up very quickly, they shoot a couple of drones, they disappear, they're not playing for those aggressive picks that we saw them playing for the first couple of rounds, because, I mean, you look how Goofed roamed in that first round, found 2, traded out, almost clutched up the round, like, it was amazing just having that roam presence for them. But then it has now been given up. We haven't really seen too much of that from them, and it has been costing them rounds. I mean, albeit some close rounds have ensued. We have seen 2v2s, post plants, a lot of good positioning for both teams to walk away with the round. As you said, 50-50. But at the end of the day, Throwables are just winning those ones. And it is just coming down to those individual gunfights.
Well, and I think another thing is with Villa being such a big map, you can kind of sometimes end up roaming in the wrong spot. Yeah. With Chalet, they were able to hold positions that were power positions that the attackers definitely had to go through. Whereas with what we just saw, for example, they were holding underneath the triple wall as before, but rather Monash just went through the other side. They just went through study where there wasn't any presence at all. So it could just be a case that maybe their roams just aren't in the right place. They're very strong when they are, but sometimes Throwables just manage to find a way around them.
Throwables have been quite crafty on their attacks on Villa. I will give them that. We also started to see them sort of coming out of their shell a little bit on Chalet. We saw obviously the rush through West Main, which ultimately netted them around. I mean, they have somewhat changed up their strategy. The Monty is no longer being employed by Throwables, however, though Jumpstring now returning to a more current in-meta operator on the Habana. But I mean, Throwables on attack on this map, it's either Throwables are a lot better on the attack on Villa, or Swinster are not as good at the defense, because as we've seen in the previous two matches already, defense seems to be the favorite for both of these teams. But on Villa, it does not seem to be the case. Maybe Throwables are just that good at attack, or maybe Swinster just don't have the same sort of style that they do on the defense on this map, because albeit, as you mentioned, this is quite a hard map to be good at on the defense, especially with good roam game.
Might come down again to the size of the map. It means it's a little harder to support those roamers when they're off-site, and it's harder for them to come back successfully as well. I mean, just look at this position Gooft is playing here. Very aggressive, but he's being cut off from all sides, and he's got to go through the middle of the map in order to get away. And there we have it. Pika managed to find Gooft, and Jumpstream is the only one who only takes a little bit of damage there.
It's a pretty good trade out, taking down one of the top performing fraggers. I believe one of the top 3 rated players even so far in the AEL season. But it is going to be good to find that pick if you are a Throwables player, especially early on. Only a minute gone now, and they've taken such a big player for Swinster off the board. They still have to get Peepo though. She is, again, one of the bigger fraggers for them. Pew actually is currently on 6 and 4, so he is currently doing a bit more of the legwork in terms of the kills right now, but it is still anybody's round. A 5v4 isn't completely impossible for the defense, albeit very easy to lose if the attack can make a mistake here, so it's going to be whether or not Throwables can really close this one out convincingly.
So far, the rest of the players now have decided not to go on this extended roam. Pew is the only one downstairs, and he's on the other side of the map. So again, he wasn't really in a position to support Gooft when he did die. So fortunately, not able to get the refrag here. He could have caught Ahau on the red stairs there, but he will not be looking the right way. C4 doesn't go off either. Might be time for him to come back.
The rotate has probably been called with only 45 seconds left. He's just hanging out down in piano, trying to see if anyone wants to come and graciously have a go at peeking his M590. However, no one from Throwables is interested, so a flank could be in the books here for Pew. Could be a big one. No, Pika. He's going to get close, but Pew's actually looking to the roof. I think the sound hasn't quite propagated for him properly here. He's not even going to look. Is Pika even close by? He is indeed. He's going to do a little bit of damage. He will find the kill as well now. Finally onto the player below. Here's the 20-second execute. Marshmallow goes down to Ahau. Bomb now being planted by Owen in the corner. Skonic to take down Peepo. Downed by the smoke, however. 12 seconds left. They're going to have to pick the bomb up. Pico went up and then give the plant another go. It's off to Tenji now. From behind, though, he's going to be taken down by Skonic. It's a flawless round for Throwables. They put the 4th on the board.
Well, we spoke about how this was starting to look a little attacker-sided, and I think that seals the deal. A flawless round on attack, and even with Owen lagging out as well, so they've got 4.5 players and can still win. A bit of unfortunate siege timing there as well for Pew. He was looking at the roof when Pika did drop after he was looking at that door for a good 30 seconds. But it is what it is. Throwables now 4-1 against Swinister, and on the attack. Could this be finally the map that differentiates these two teams? One is just better. Throwables might actually take this 5-1 here.
I think we may have cast a cursed Goofed a little bit in terms of his frag ability. He's gone from 18 to 19 to now 4 in 6 rounds. So if that is the case, I do apologize, Goof. But hopefully he can get his traction a little bit here on the remainder of these rounds. Maybe attack will be a better side for him. This is going to be the final attempt at defense at Swins to get. So a 4-2 is probably the best. Well, it is the best that they can get here. So that is probably what they're going to be aiming for, I'd imagine. Kitchen, I believe the first time that they've attempted this tertiary here. So, I mean, look, 4-2 is the best they're going to
10
get.
seconds to go.
And Throwables definitely could be on for the 5-1 that Swinster had on Clubhouse. So if that's the case, unless we see another 5-1 back-to-back 6-6 OT,
Attacker's objective is to
it's
locate a
not
bomb
going to be a good remainder of her game for Swinster.
Could also be a matter of fatigue coming in now. This has been a long series, and such nail-biting games does take its toll on your nerves as well. And we spoke about the mental and how important that is. That could be coming into play as well. I imagine though, Swinister, of course, feeling a lot better after that last win. It was a little bit more sided towards them. Goof now, however, on the roam once again will be hunted by this Jackal, and I don't think he has the support he needs again. Once again, leaving it all up to Goof might not work because as good. Oh no, okay, forget what I just said. Forget what I said.
Yeah, there you go. Tangi's there. The support was there this time, and Sconic's going to go down. That's actually a big pick to find as a defender. Jackal now off the board. That is huge for Swinster. Holding the rotate here, though. Pika could be graced. No, he's not quite going to find Tangi on the fall back towards Mem. Pika's actually going to take a little bit of damage in the process. Owen as well now off screen taking some damage too, but still a 4-1 here for Swinster. Pika is actually going to find Goof, though, so a 4v4, but instantly traded back out by Pew. Now, Tangi can't quite find the player that bolts on into Bike. However, he does have the position now of AHAL. Some flashbangs into the toilet as well, but the player that I'm assuming they thought was in there is no longer to be, and it is a 4v3 in favour of Swinster.
Lots of players now taking a chip damage, but not quite going down yet. But Pew from above actually will find a double onto Owen. That's all the edge out of the way. Owen has to react with a... I don't know what face emote that
Did
is.
you shoot him through the floor? Was there vertical for that?
Yeah. Jumpstream, however, and AHAL will also be able to find kills. And that puts it back to a 2v2 once again, with a minute left to work with.
Very big pick for Pew there through the floor. It's a 2v2 though from a 4v2, so you do have to sort of take that into consideration here. AHAL and Jumpstream, two players that so far we've seen have pretty big score lines for themselves as well, especially in clutch situations. Now Jumpstream has spotted one close, will be able to take down Marshmallow as well, leaving it up to Peepo in a 1v2. Frost, pretty good operator to clutch with. You do have to give her that. Frostmat's inside of sight could prove to, well, maybe cause a down, but AHAL going to be getting this bomb down. Coming from Mem, he's going to be Peepo, though. Jumpstream looks away just at the wrong time. It doesn't matter, though. He's going to take her out. Peepo gets one on the way, but he's not going to get the second. And the bomb is going to go off. A 5-1 half for Throwables.
Well, we see a lot of patterns here. We see the same score lines, the same performance, 5-1 once again, but big difference here was that was on attack. If Throwables can perform like that on attack, what are they going to be like on defense? We know they're really, really good at defense. We've seen it multiple times, but 5-1 and they get defense now? Is this the end of Swinister?
Could very well be the end of Swinster. I mean, Throwables on defense, on Villa, this could easily be a 7-1 if they do it well. Goyo being bought, which is pretty good for the lineup, especially on an AVG paired with the Jaeger. However, I'm interested to see how this Kapkan comes into play.
Well, you don't see that every day, but when you do, you love to see it. It's always those unsuspecting players rushing into the site at the last minute that it really comes back to bite them. They just don't expect it. Of course, we have so many shields as well, Goyo and the smoke shield, so that's 3 shields, and AHAL on his famous,
10 seconds remaining.
what's her name? It's not a Rooney.
5 seconds to insertion.
Malusi, that's the one, yes.
Malusi.
Yes. I don't know why I got those mixed up. It's
I was going to say, I thought we were...
yeah.
Oh. It's all good. It is all good. We've sorted it out. We know who it is. Malusi is the operator in question. But another thing that is going to be in question very, very soon in the future is who's going to win this map. Because if history repeats itself, and albeit it has all night been repeating itself, we could see another 5-1 sweep here in terms of Swinster coming back. It's just going to be whether or not Throwables can really clean up their defense and close the game out, which Swinster couldn't do when they had that 5-1 deficit. So, I mean, can Throwables do it? That is the big question, I think.
They have chosen to bring a gridlock here instead of the Nomad. Does bring a little bit of vertical utility and the smokes, but I'm not quite sure about this pick. You do need that Nomad to block off those flanks. Pika will go for the pick, and he almost takes out Q. Q on very low health. Pika takes some in return. We'll be looking out to actually continue his reign of terror now. Goof goes down to Sonics.
Oh, and there goes Tangy as well. Marshmallow's there to refrag, however, onto Pika. It's 4v3 now. AHAL is so close to taking out Marsh. 2 players now for Swinster on such low HP, and without a Kona station in sight for them on the attack, or even a Finker, they're going to be on that HP for the remainder of this round. Peebo, the only full health player left for the attack. And look at the defense side, all 100 HP, Nitros in hand, and a smoke. That smoke single-handedly from Owen could be the downfall of Swinster right now, especially with some well-placed gas grenades.
Don't forget the Capcan mines as well. They walk through that, they're dead straight away.
Yeah.
Oh no, Owen takes out Q as he goes for the throwable utility. Jumpstream also playing with the shield, very difficult to push back, and Sonics might actually go for a roam here as well, or a C4 now. Yep, it is indeed. He's right underneath.
C4.
It's a matter
Here
of
we go.
time.
Yep, he gets both.
Oh no. Look at that.
What a way to end it. Both of the... Well, Peepo, the 100 HP player standing right on top of it, and then the 1 HP player, because of the shrapnel change, yeeted over the top of the chest of drawers there. Throwables now on match point 6-1. I'm really thinking the 7-1 is going to come to reality here in a second if Swinster can't clean up what was an attempt at an attack round, but ultimately it just crumbled at the feet of Throwables.
They were looking so good. It almost looked like they could take the throne away from Throwables. But the king has returned. Throwables are 6-1 on match point. Swinister needs to fire 5 rounds and even taller feat than Throwables accomplished on their very first map. And this is, of course, all while attacking. It could not get more difficult than this.
It is rough, to say the least, if you are a Swinster fan. It looked so good at the start of club, and now it is just completely the opposite end of the spectrum here. They went from the team with the 5-1 to losing to the team with the 5-1, which is an interesting swap for them, but they did make it to map 3. So even if Throwables clutch it out here,
10 seconds to insertion.
they made it all the way. You do have to give them that. They didn't stop fighting to the end.
5 seconds to insertion.
We're going to have to see what they can pull out here, possibly for the final round.
I'm not sure if anyone has actually taken Throwables to 3 maps in playoffs. I think RMIT would have to be the only ones who got anywhere close. And yeah, the very last match of Season 1, of course, the grand final was the best of 3, and that was where they... Okay, I've just been told by the producer that last week was a best of 3 as well. So the second team to manage to do this, but that's no easy feat because this is a very, very good team. So nevertheless, well done to Swinister.
Yes, they did give it a good crack, and if this is the end of the line, hopefully it isn't. Oh, no, the Nitro. Peebo's just going to watch it sail on by. She's not too interested in what just came out that window at all. And oh, when now Nitroless is left with only the shotgun in hand, which we know he is quite dangerous with, so I'm not going to say anything about counting him out just yet. But this downstairs play from the Pulse could single-handedly shut Swinster down if they don't clear him out. They're going to have to put a big focus on this downstairs player of ON, because if they don't, This is going to prove to be a bit of a rough round for them. But Goof finally finds a frag onto Pika, and that is one of the downstairs roamers, I believe, taken out. The Jackal Ping's giving away Owen's position, but no, the refrag's there. Skonic, a 4v4.
Ahau will also find Hanji, and suddenly this is swinging the other way. Sonics with a double. Gets caught on the refrag from Marshmallow, but Owen is still alive, so is Ahau and Jumpstream. With the diffuser locked out outside. It's all up to Pew, Marshmallow, the AE brothers here to win what could possibly be a very close round.
Got to do it for the Altered Edge boys. Clutch up a round. I'm surprised Owen, out of all of the players that died downstairs, was the one that made it out. Essentially baited his way out of China and managed to get back up the Astro stairs, which I will say, hats off to him. Owen, Prone King, has made it away with his life. A 3v2, largely on the backs of the AE boys to make Swinster, well, give Swinster a chance at continuing to attempt to combat the Throwables. However, I don't think it's looking too good with only 30 seconds left, and they're kind of stuck down in the red piano 94.
With so much info will be passed by Owen, and I think that's a critical piece of the puzzle we have to remember here. Oh, he will be taken out. A cheeky drop. It doesn't work out for him, and I spoke too soon. It looks like they will be rushing in for the site now, but the smoke is going to lock them out as well. 15 seconds now. It all comes down to this. Pre-fire's coming out. Jumpstream has the SMG in hand, but he will take out one more answered back, and now it's a triple kill as Throwables clean this up. Ahau clutches up for Monash Throwables.
So right. Very well done. Throwables, 2 big maps from them, the final being a 7-1 victory, the quickest scoreline we've seen here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. A huge set of games, but at the end of the day, only one team will come out victorious, and that is going to be Throwables at the end of those 3 maps. Those set of games, I would single-handedly say, have been some of the best Siege I've watched for a while, I will say.
Yeah, that was back and forth all the way through that. We were just left guessing all the time who was going to win. It had it all. There was some clutches, there was comebacks, some 5-1 deficits. There was some great mental play as well, as these teams battled it out from losing positions all the way down to this last map. And it is going to be 7-1. Monash Throwables will be advancing to the upper bracket finals.
Very well done by them. I mean, they deserve it 100%. They fought really hard on Clubhouse to take it back to that 8-7. I mean, really, really well done by them. Just on that single-handedly. Unfortunately, couldn't get the second map. And then on the third, I mean, really cleaned up. Their attacking half was just so well executed. Defense didn't let a round slip. And I mean, it really did show. They performed amazingly on Villa. I think that secretly, they were very happy that that was the final map over Cafe.
If anything, I think what we've learned is that Swinister and Monash are both very, very good at defense. And I don't think that Monash weren't able to close out their attacks because, earlier because they weren't good at it. I mean, they just showed on Villa they were great. I think it was the fact that Swinister just are really, really good at defense as well. And so it was back and forth between those two. Of course, they did win their preferred maps, and now they do manage to go on to 7-1 for that final map. Just checking with our producer now to see if there will be stats. It will be a minute. Stats, here we go. Right on the money. It will be, of course, a 7-1 victory. And unfortunately for Swinburne, only one player above a rating of 1.
Yeah, Swinster had a pretty rough final map, I think. Goof seemed to lose a bit of his momentum. He's had a massive game tonight. Games, should I say, tonight. He ended the night on 42 kills across 3 maps. That in itself is an amazing prospect for a player. I mean, even though they didn't win, Goofed has to be recognised for his efforts single-handedly this evening. Paired with Peepo on the duo, I will give them that. Unfortunately, they couldn't get that last round. Villa just looked like a map that they weren't necessarily comfortable on, but that is reflected in the ratings as well. 0.5, 0.51, 0.76, 0.72. Pew, the only member to break a 1.0 rating with 1.03. So, I mean, but you look on the end of Monash, you've got 1.19 for Jumpstream, 1.56 for Skonic, 1.06 for Ahau, 1.2 for Owen, who actually had a very good third map, and then Pika with an 0.74, the only member that couldn't quite make it. But still, huge games. I mean, Villa honestly was probably where Swinburne had either broke the mental or they just couldn't quite keep up. I think it was something along the lines of that there for them, possibly mental. But we are actually going to be speaking to Jumpstream. He's going to be jumping on in to have a word with us momentarily. And I am very interested to see his thoughts. Jumpstream, welcome. How are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, feeling good. After a map like that, yeah. Especially since our history on that map was a bit...
Not too sure.
Yeah, we can't actually hear, just letting our producer know. So this is a bit awkward as we're all just kind of... Yeah, there we go. Now we can hear you. How are you feeling?
Can you hear me now? Yeah, good.
Yeah, we can
awesome.
hear you.
After a map like that, yeah, especially since Villa has been one of our, I guess, a little off maps, not just for our team, but for the other Monash teams as well. Yeah, it felt good to win that. Yeah.
So then you just mentioned that it's an off map. So when you went into this with the band, were you hoping for maybe a cafe, or how did that all pan out?
Well, I guess we wanted probably something like Oregon. It's a little bit easier, a little bit more middle ground for most teams as a make or break map. But having Villa, we were a bit skeptical. Hoping we would take the game out on Chalet, but things happened and we made it to Villa, and yeah, it was just clicking.
Yeah, and let's talk map number 1. So Clubhouse, obviously, you were down 5-1 on the split. Going into that, how was your mindset? Did you think you were going to walk away with a club victory, or were you largely worried about that first map?
So yeah, obviously it's always a little worrying when you're, very rarely picking up a round on attack, especially on club. But knowing that we were pretty confident in our defense and what we had for defense, we weren't too worried once we switched onto the attack and onto the defense. And Owen was keeping mentals up as well, so it all worked out for the better.
That's great to hear. So finally, last question. I think next week you're going to be facing off against RMIT Black or Monkey UTS, the winners. How are you feeling? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Are you ready to give them a run for their money again?
Yeah, I guess the mentals going into this stage is more to have fun, I guess, and really just enjoy the experience of comp, and just play our best and see how it goes. Both those teams are really great teams, really confident, really talented players, and a lot of respect for both those teams. And I'm curious myself to see who comes out on top on that matchup.
Well, Jumpstream, you guys, honestly, it was some of the best siege I said that I've seen in a while. So hats off. Congratulations, obviously, to you guys. Very well earned, especially coming back on that first map. That was an amazing comeback, I will say, right now. But other than that, man, congratulations, and we will see you for your next game in the near future.
Cheers, guys. Have a good night.
See ya.
You too. Well, before we go, we do want to once again thank our sponsors for making this all possible. We have, of course, Chatime, the iced tea, the bubble tea, sponsor. They've got over 120 Chatime breweries around, so make sure to visit one. And of course, Predator, our gaming PC partner, conquer new worlds and get power and precision in your hands with Predator PCs.
As well, we would like to thank AOC for the best viewing experience possible, a global leader in monitor display technology. Indomie for obviously some of the best noodles that you can get, let's be honest, around. And RIG, our headset partner, they developed some of the best headsets around, delivering superior audio for all of your competitive gaming needs. And ladies and gentlemen, I think that is going to be it. Spud, thank you so much. It has been amazing. The games tonight were awesome. And honestly, some of the best Siege. I have to say it again. I can't let it die. Some of the best Siege I've seen in a long time. And I'll be looking very forward to coming back tomorrow night with Spud for another game. And we will see you then, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Before we're done.
From classic iced tea flavours like peach or mango to exotic lychee or pomegranate, you can enjoy your Chatime any way you like. Chatime, shaking tea up.